Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson, Sports Center, brought to you by Ho Chunk Gaming Madison, home of smoke-free slots and the highest payout percentage in the area. Ho Chunk Gaming Madison, more spins, more wins, more fun. The Milwaukee Brewers are 0-4 to begin the 2025 season. Maybe playing a night game will shift the momentum around tonight. First night game of the season tonight at American Family Field. Game 2 of the 3-game set for the Brewers and Royals. 6:40 first pitch. Pregame coverage starts just after 6 o'clock right here on Madison's new home of the Brewers, 100.5 ESPN. Chad Patrick is a real person making his first major league start on the mound for the Brewers tonight, for opposing Michael Lorenzen of the Royals. Again, 6:40 first pitch tonight on 100.5 ESPN. Because of the Brewers game on ESPN Madison, the Milwaukee Bucks hosting the Phoenix Suns tonight at Fiserv Forum. 6:30 tip. Pregame coverage starts at 6. Listen to it on 1670 The Zone, sharing broadcast responsibilities with ESPN Madison throughout the course of this season. And, of course, Packers head coach Matt LaFleur speaking with the media down in Florida this morning at the NFL meetings. We'll hear it on Wilde and Tausch starting now.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com. Three-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year, Jason Wilde.
Is there anything anybody loves more than agreeing with Tausch?
Packers Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher.
I got a hunch this isn't going to be concise either.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio.
I would say that you are pretty easygoing. You're actually probably more easygoing than I am.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Well, you're not easygoing at all.
Hey!
On 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
It is the Tuesday edition, the Breakfast with Matt LaFleur edition. I know Domofsky and those guys got their eggs and their Eggs Benedict and their bacon, their fruits. At least that's what I like to get. After they got done talking to Matt LaFleur for 34 minutes this morning. Edition. We're going to have to talk about Rasheed Walker. He is the living epitome of Tausch's belief about first-round picks versus seventh-round picks edition, and the importance of competition edition of Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, ESPNWisconsin.com, the ESPN app, your Alexa smart speaker, streaming live video, Twitter, sometimes, Facebook, not sure what that's
Rarely.
doing right now. And YouTube.
Big on YouTube.
Yeah. And everything you need on WisconsinOnDemand.com and the Wisconsin On Demand app. I'm Jason Wilde in Green Bay. Jesse Nelson's in the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios. And for his second consecutive day, Domi Amagato, Mark Tauscher. He is back. We're thrilled to have him. We've got great cousin subs, but there's just something different about this show when the star shines brightest on it. He is the Packers Hall of Famer. He is Mark Tauscher. Tausch, good morning. How are you?
Good. What does that look for, Nelson? What does that look for?
Just seemed embellished.
It's not hyperbole. He's the star of the show. It shines brighter.
Just it was dramatic. It was a dramatic introduction, is all.
Can I not be happy that my pod
I
is
don't
back?
understand, Jesse. And then Jesse totally butchers Sports Center. He's bumbling all over himself. Nobody's going to say anything about that until you get all snooty about this. So, blah, 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 blah. Like,
That's exactly what it sounded like.
Blah, blah,
Charlie
blah,
Brown's
blah,
teacher.
blah.
The Bucks are playing here.
I may have forgot Michael Lorenzen's name, who was the starting pitcher for the Royals tonight. It kind of threw off.
And your prize pick sucked yesterday.
It did. Well, the Brewers sucked yesterday, too. So.
No, but your prize pick sucked, too. So, and you know what? I was in a good mood yesterday. Why the NFL, man? What are we doing?
That was short-lived.
The NFL, man.
What are we doing?
What? What did they do?
Well, I'm intrigued to hear what the tush-push ruling is going to be. I would bet that I think it's going to be a close call, which 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, I don't know if I would have said that because, the Packers are weak to do this. Nobody else wants it. And it turns out a lot of teams don't like this tush-push.
Mm-hmm.
But this idea of regular season overtime needing to be extended.
It's not extended.
It is extended.
No, it's 10 minutes.
Freaking dumb.
It's still 10 minutes.
Jason.
Tausch. Mark.
You score a touchdown now, the game's not over. The Packers go score a touchdown against Minnesota. Minnesota gets their ball. Oh, their precious little ball, even though their stinking defense couldn't make a stop. And we're doing this in the regular season now, too. Nobody was clamoring for this. Nobody was clamoring for this.
Nothing.
So stupid. Dumb.
You are an
Get out of here with
overtime
player.
hater.
I don't want to hear anything about player safety talk and all that. It's so dumb. The NFL overtime rules, I admit, I was a little bit stubborn with my field goal, in the early 2010 era. I was stubborn on it.
Clip that.
I switched. I came around and I said, all right, I understand. Guys are kicking 55-yard field goals. I get it. This nobody was asking for, guys. If you are in a regular season overtime game, postseason's different. I didn't mind that they changed the postseason rule, that both teams got the ball. You go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets the ball and go kick a field goal too. Okay? What is going to change here is everybody now is going to take the ball second. Nobody is going to take the ball in overtime. Packers win the toss, they're going to defer in overtime. Vikings can go down because, just like we saw in the Super Bowl with the Niners, you're going to end up getting 4 downs. It's maddening to me that people think this needed to be changed. I didn't even hear anything about it until Schefter. I thought it was an April Fool's joke. I legit thought, it's April Fool's. They must be joshing me.
Joshing you. They were joshing you. No, they're not joshing you. And it passed because there's the belief that you did not hold for a long time that it's kind of like going to extra innings and one team gets the bat and the other team doesn't. So, again, I understand that you believe that this is unnecessary, but the fact that all the coaches were in favor of this would indicate that they are hypocrites on the front of player safety because they're using player safety a lot. I've heard that phrase a lot with the tush push, but not with playing more football than they were previously. I have a question, though, a point of order question. If you
just wait, are you and Jesse both on board with this, that this needed to change?
Yeah, this doesn't bother me.
Was this wrong?
Regular season games matter. Regular season games matter. They're the difference between, say, getting a first-round bye or not.
Don't give up a touchdown to start the overtime.
If you lose the coin,
I don't understand this.
You're still stuck on
Just
your
position,
don't
give up a touchdown.
But the other team doesn't have to play defense then. They should have to play defense, too.
Defense is part of the game, too. Yep.
Yeah.
Honestly, at this point, I don't care which way they choose to go with it. I just want it to be the same in the regular season and the playoffs.
Very fair point. That's part of the problem.
I hate when baseball does this too. Extra innings in the regular season is played one way, and then you get to the playoffs and suddenly extra innings is played differently.
Hey, Jesse.
Play the game the same no matter when you're playing.
You go home. You go home in the playoffs. You want to have to go home if you lose in the regular season then too? It is different. I hate to tell you this. It's different.
The stakes are different.
It's
the rules of
different.
the game are very controllable and can be played the same whether you're in April or October or September or February.
Okay, well then you can't have a tie in the regular season. Done.
Great.
You're going to change your rule? No ties.
As far as I know, nobody wants a tie. It happens once every 5 years. And everyone's
Kissing
like,
cousins.
hey, look, a tie. That's fun. Sure, get rid of the tie. Sign me up.
I just don't get where this came from. I don't get it.
All right, so I have a question while we're relitigating this. So the overtime is 10 minutes, right? Obviously, it's difficult to possess the ball on a 10-minute drive. That's a rare occurrence.
It happens more than you think.
Right. So what would happen if Team Tausch wins the toss, Team Wilde has to start on defense, you choose to take the ball, and then you grind it out? And you use up all
fair.
10 minutes and then kick the field
goal. The
goal.
other team gets 10 minutes.
Right.
Too.
Is that what
you got to give the other team 10 minutes?
That's what I'm asking.
No, they better.
Can you just
They better, or you two idiots are
corners
just you guys are just spouting off. They have to give them the same amount of time. You got to give them the same time because that's fair. That's why this is just it just doesn't make any sense.
This is one of your hills. You would acknowledge that overtime is clearly one of your hills.
No, I changed. No, I can't even say that, Jason.
You just moved your location on the hill.
I've been swayed on this. But Jesse's sitting there on his soapbox telling me, oh, it's got to be the same. It's got to be even. It's got to do this. You go and do a 9-minute, 58-second drive, and you're going to give the Packers 2 seconds to go get a touchdown? How fair is that? Not real fair. What are you accomplishing by doing what they're doing? What are you accomplishing?
That under normal circumstances, both teams will get the ball with a reasonable amount of time to possess the ball.
That's not what's going to happen.
More often than not, that is what it's going to happen.
Jason, it won't be even. And it's not even because the team that takes it first only gets 3 downs to get a first down. The team that gets it second gets 4. So there's nothing even about that. There's nothing even about this. It's dumb. Just please come on board and say, you know what, Tausch, you're right. It doesn't need to change.
Never. They changed it. They changed it for the playoffs. I clip this one small phrase. I agree with Jesse. I think it's preposterous to have different rules for the regular season and the postseason. I don't like it. Does baseball? I don't follow baseball all that closely, and they certainly didn't need to use the
crazy the NBA playoffs. You got to win 4 games to win a series. That's crazy.
Easy.
No, but the overtime rules are the same.
Do we still have the?
In hockey, are they?
Oh,
hockey, they're completely different.
Hockey's different.
Hockey, they're completely different.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
Do we still put the runner on second base in extra innings
in the regular season?
Yep. I don't like that either. You don't do it in the playoffs, but you do it in the regular season. I don't care if you got to have your left fielder pitch. That's the way it goes.
One of the things that bothers me about the high school bowling championships, all year you play a best-of-9 series.
The example I was going to use.
You get to state 2-game total pin count. Makes no sense. Why wouldn't you play with the same rules all year?
I don't like different rules.
Jason, I just don't understand. This didn't need to change. This didn't need to change.
You would agree, though, that you just don't see the reasoning behind requiring both teams to get the ball. You always want to say, you always argue that defense is part of the game. And then, I mean, we've had this argument. We've been doing this, 9 years now? We've had this argument probably at least once a year.
Yeah.
Maybe more.
Yeah.
But my pushback to you is always, if you get the ball and you go down and score, your defense didn't have to play. So how is that equitable if defense is part of the game?
If your defense gets a safety, then you have to give the other team's defense a chance to get a safety too.
That's now.
Right?
See,
No one is saying
but
that.
it's the same thing. It's the same
that.
thing that you're just saying, and I'm not even being obtuse.
It's entirely obtuse.
It's not. No, it's not though. But again, I mean, I just think it goes against everything that football is supposed to be a team sport, and I don't think what this is doing does that. I just don't. I think it turns it into we have to give. We have to give everybody. It's not going to be the same. It's not going to be equitable. It's not fair that the team that gets the ball second is going to be able to control that they get 4 downs and not 3. Like, why does nobody look at that?
They still
That's
get
the
4
part that
downs. They just choose not to use the 4th down because they
don't go for it. It's 4th and 6 from the 20. You're gonna punt. You're not gonna go for it. The other team is. It's just not the same, and you know that. Don't be obtuse. You know that that's how that works. Well, is it?
Yeah, you could choose to go for it on 4th and 6. You could say, I want to go score a touchdown. I'm willing to take the risk. Also true. I understand this is a pet peeve of yours. There were a lot of other things that were discussed this morning during Matt LaFleur's coach's breakfast session.
Where did this even come from? Was there a big clamoring for this? I just don't get where it came from.
Yeah, I think most of the oxygen was sucked up by the tush-push conversation and like the Lions' proposal that if you have a better record than a division winner and you're a wild card, you should still get a higher seed. I think those two sucked up all of the attention. And this kind of snuck under the old Tausch radar. Remember, too, while these were being discussed, that they were going to be on the docket, you were in Japan on the other side of the international date line.
Fair.
So it might have slipped by you.
That's
fair. What does not slip by you is a great deal from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. You are always there, whether it says that we're doing it or not. You are always there to make sure everyone knows all the great deals that Gina and the team have going.
Have we seen anything pop on the old telly yet? Have we seen any of the potential?
No, it's April 1st. I had GMA on all morning, hoping it would pop on there.
I'm guessing we're going to be seeing some fun things. There's a lot of buzz about Pella's ad this month. There's going to be a lot of buzz about their TV spot. Going to be a lot of buzz surrounding the draft. But you won't find one seeping through Pella's windows and doors. In fact, you should make Pella your number 1 pick because right now you can take advantage of no-interest financing options or free glass upgrades. Free glass upgrades. Their talented designers and installers can match your unique home through seamless customization. Certain restrictions do apply. This deal ends April 30th. So place your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com. And as always, certain restrictions do apply.
Just out of curiosity, is that how the copy is sent to you? Like, is Gina promoting on the radio and on YouTube the TV commercial, or did you throw that in yourself?
I added that.
Okay. It is. I haven't seen the finished product. But the reviews have come in, and they're raving, especially you with your ad-libs. We will see when that makes it to television. I hope we can also air it on YouTube. During commercial breaks.
I'm sure we'll be able to do a full film breakdown. Yep.
I'm sure that'll find its way. We can break it down.
Constant loop.
The fact that Jason set the script back by 25 minutes by now.
Okay, the big ad-libber. More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Is it Waukesha or Waukesha? Brat or Brat? Is it ever okay to vacation in Minnesota? Wisconsinites can't agree on everything, But we can't agree getting paid earlier is better. That's why UW Credit Union is making members direct deposits available up to 2 days earlier. Early payday at UW Credit Union. Join today. Federally insured by NCUA. Visit uwcu.org for details.
Ben Brust here to tell you about the Princeton Club. If you're looking for a place where you can better yourself while having a wonderful atmosphere, you have it at the Princeton Club. Strong communities, strong body, and strong mind. All it takes is one small step to start today. You will see that you have everything you need in order to achieve all of your goals. Find your better tomorrow at the Princeton Club. 8 Madison locations where you go in there, you take a tour, and you realize this is a place for me. Find more at PrincetonClub.net.
This is our crew.
Fly ball right field. Hit a ton. We're tied.
Milwaukee Brewers baseball is coming to ESPN Madison.
The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out.
Every pitch, every dramatic moment, every
Fly ball left field. Back. Still back. It is up and gone.
Madison's new home of the Milwaukee Brewers. 100.5 ESPN.
Look what we have here. It's the refreshing deliciousness of a Pepsi mini can. It's the perfect complement to any meal. The dash of indulgence your day was dreaming of. The sip that'll have you singing Pepsi.
Nope, not again, Steve. Let's take a cue from the Pepsi mini can and pack all that awesomeness you're feeling into a much smaller treat for everyone. Deal?
So, big awesomeness, smaller size. I think I've got just the thing.
Pepsi mini can. Mini can, big taste.
They did it again. For the 5th time, Siding Unlimited, the 30-year-old Wisconsin family-owned company, is the Pella Window and Door Company's Platinum Premier Certified Contractor of the Year in the whole USA. Siding Unlimited is here in Madison with a dynamic outside-in showroom. See Siding Unlimited's window, door, roofing, deck, and other great outside stuff inside at 2018 South Stoughton Road, south of Buckeye. See Siding Unlimited's frequent Instagram posts or go to sidingunlimited.com.
Hey, it's John Hayes, owner of Goodman's Jewelers. Come in and discover the high standards, classic traditions, honesty, integrity, and elegance when you walk through our doors. For over 90 years, customers have returned again and again to our warm boutique setting. Trust me, because I've been there for over 40 of them. Whether it's time to come back or your first time in, stop by Goodman's Jewelers at 220 State Street today. Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison since 1933.
The best is at Goodman's.
Want to join the fastest growing home solar company in the nation and work in the fastest growing industry in the world? Everlight Solar has open positions in the Madison area and in their newly open Milwaukee location. As Wisconsin's largest home solar company, Everlight Solar offers great opportunities to gain new skills and advance your career. Don't miss the chance to join the Everlight Solar team. Visit everlightsolar.com to apply today. Save money, save the planet, and start with Everlight Solar.
With the next pick in the big draft, Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Dane County selects you. As we count down to the draft in Green Bay, Big Brothers and Big Sisters is also counting on you to help meet the growing demand of mentorship in our community. Become a role model, a motivator, a supporter, a positive influence. Empower the young people in our community to create a brighter future for all. Big Brothers, Big Sisters of Dane County presents The Big Draft in partnership with the NFL Inspire Change. Learn how to get involved at bbbsmadison.org.
I'm the most guaranteed person you could take.
The 2025 NFL Draft.
Is he a lockdown corner? Is he an elite receiving entity?
Round 1 begins Thursday, April 24th on ESPN Radio, ESPN, and on ABC.
So there was a lot of other things going on this morning at the Breakers, the hoity-toity resort in Palm Beach, Florida. We'll get to some of the things that Matt LaFleur had to say at the breakfast with the NFC coaches this morning. There are those rule changes that are being debated. Apparently the tush-push getting heavy debate. Nick Sirianni has been lobbying for votes in favor of keeping the tush-push. Matt LaFleur said he is not so invested in the tush push that he's lobbying for people to vote against keeping it. But he did address a bunch of things. I want to get ready for our visit with Nick Collins, who's one of our favorite people. He's going to be on momentarily. But before that, Tausch, I just want to touch on this. We'll get deeper into it later in the show. But it is official. Matt LaFleur echoing what Brian Gutekunst said yesterday. It's on like Donkey Kong at left tackle. Jordan Morgan versus Rasheed Walker. Matt LaFleur flat out said it. They are going to compete for that job. Jordan Morgan didn't even take snaps at left tackle last summer. Missed a large swath of the season with a shoulder injury. But he's a first-round pick. They invested heavily in him. Rasheed Walker, like you, seventh-round pick. They think that they can be better there. What do you make of where this is at, and what do you anticipate from our guy Sheed handling this?
Well, I love the way Sheed handled it last year. I know he was on that tailgate tour, and I don't remember if it was after the draft. I believe it was the tailgate tour. And
it was before the draft, and there was the possibility that they were going to draft an offensive lineman. And then after they drafted the offensive lineman, he had the same exact attitude.
Okay, and I think that's the healthy way to do it, but he's going to have a big hill to climb. They want Jordan Morgan to be the left tackle.
Mm-hmm.
They drafted him to do that, and I think, Rasheed started a little slow, had some penalties last year. And, again, I think one of the things that we look at, the Josh Myers component, it's if you're steady. Brian Gutekunst is looking at this, and it's not about just being steady. This is now he wants elite play at those positions.
Mm-hmm.
And Rasheed Walker, I think he's done a really good job, especially for where the Packers have drafted and what they've invested. He's been really good. They want to be able to solidify that spot in a big way with someone that has all of the tangible numbers and things to be basically a shutdown left tackle. I don't know if they feel that way about Sheed. Obviously, they think that Jordan Morgan can usurp that spot and take it over. We'll see, because we all thought last year was going to be a battle, and 2 days into it, it was like, you're good. Sheed's taking it. Jordan's going to be battling Sean Ryan for right guard. Whether or not that happens again, I would venture that it is going to be a big – if I was putting the numbers percentage-wise, who's going to be the left tackle, Jordan Morgan would be a prohibitive favorite going into training camp. And is that right? Is that fair? Hey, maybe the league will change it, and they'll say you got to get 50-50 reps. Maybe the Packers will say, well, it's not fair to either of these guys. I want both guys to get 50-50 reps because that's fair. Both people should get the same amount of reps to play left tackle. That's what Jesse and Jason want. And unfortunately for Sheed, that's not the reality of the business of the NFL. That's why I think what they're doing with this is also a sham, but whatever. I'm not going to get into all that again. We've already litigated, and I know people are sick of it. Bottom line is Sheed is going to have to be better than Jordan Morgan. It's going to have to be – this isn't going to be where they're both kind of boxing at each other and you put it to the judges. The judges are going to go Jordan Morgan.
You're right.
Sheed needs to be KO. He needs to be KO Walker if he's going to win that job.
Buster. He needs to Michael Spinks him. Buster Douglas him. All right. You really are. You
didn't like that? You didn't like my 50-50 split? I figured you would.
No, I loved it.
Seemed unnecessary.
You are
That's
a
only
beaut.
the fair way to
God,
do it.
are you
That's
a beaut?
what I was told.
See, this is what I
fair way to
mean
do it.
about why it's so great to have you back.
None of our
and why
cousin
we're so
subs of the
happy.
day had condescending voices like that they could pull out at any point.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. They also couldn't tell us about how much they love Coors Light, because that, while they love it too, only one person can tell us the way Tausch does.
Yeah, Coors Light is brewed with that 3-step cold process, cold lager, cold filtered, and it's cold packaged, so it's made to chill. Well, make sure those mountains are blue. That's when you know it is chilled to perfection. That's why it is always Coors Light in my hand when I need a moment to chill. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Super Bowl champion, former Tausch teammates, and all-around great guy. Our guy Nick Collins, one of our all-time favorites, a longtime contributor to this program, joins us to tell us about what he's got going on with the NFL Draft and more next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Welcome to the 2025 NFL Draft on ESPN Radio.
The NFL Draft is now underway.
Live from historic Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
With the first pick.
Thursday, April 24th on ESPN Radio, ESPN, and on ABC.
Football fans, Verizon is giving you the chance to win the ultimate draft experience with the Road to the Draft sweepstakes. 10 lucky winners will win tickets to the first day of the 2025 draft in Green Bay, including round-trip car service from Milwaukee, hotel accommodations, plus access to the Verizon viewing zone. Don't miss your chance to win the ultimate draft experience powered by Verizon. Hurry to select Wisconsin Verizon locations to enter by April 13th. No purchase necessary to enter. Must be legal U.S. resident of Wisconsin or Illinois, age 21 years or older to enter. Void where prohibited. For official rules and full details, visit www.espnwisconsincontest.com.
It's the season of upsets and buzzer beaters. It's also the season of hate and threats directed at college athletes. 1 in 3 high-profile athletes receives abusive messages online, and female athletes receive 3 times as many. 1 in 5 college athletes reports experiencing mental health concerns, but less than half of them will seek support. BetterHelp is partnering with college athletes by providing a free month of therapy to any student athlete who visits StopTheMadness.org. Visit StopTheMadness.org today.
The sound of summaries on ESPN Madison.
The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out.
Madison's home of the Brewers.
Fly ball right field. Hit a ton. We're tied.
Catch every Milwaukee Brewers game this season on 100.5 ESPN. Brewers baseball on ESPN Madison is presented by Hard Rock Casino Rockford and brought to you by Starion Bank and Sinden Chevy in Mount Horeb.
Professional volleyball is in full swing from here in Madison. Don't miss a second of the action. Cheer on Love Madison Volleyball as they make history with some of the best players in the world. Olympic medalists, NCAA All-Americans, and one of the most talented rookie classes ever. This is volleyball at its highest level. Experience the excitement yourself. Get your tickets today at lovb.com. Volleyball is the next major league.
Ben Bruss here to tell you about Zimbrick European. They're Mercedes, Audi, Porsche, and certified pre-owns. But the best part is I've been working with them since 2018, and the evolution has been a 2-door, a 4-door, and now it's time for an SUV. My life has changed, and it's changed with Zimbrick European. Being a dad has made it really important to have the comfort and the safety that the SUV will bring me. Again, Zimbrick European off the Beltline at Rimrock Road. Of course, I found the sexiest car on the lot. Check them out.
Hey, ready to sweeten your game? It's time for Quick Trip's Nature's Touch Ice Cream. Ooh, making moves like the starting lineup of a championship team. Whether you're gearing up for the big game, celebrating a win, or just looking for a sweet break in the action. Chocolate, vanilla, cookies and cream, mint chocolate chip, and more. Yeah, there's no such thing as a bad pick. So why wait? Flavor doesn't scoop itself. Get your hands on your winning Nature's Touch Ice Cream flavor today. Only at Quick Trip.
Mark Tusher here for Chalmers Jewelers. I've been a big fan of Scott, Garrett, and the whole team at Chalmers Jewelers for years now. I go there, my friends go there, and most importantly, my wife loves it whenever I get her something from Chalmers Jewelers. It's my go-to spot for birthdays, anniversaries, and any special occasion. For quality jewelry and a great experience, choose Chalmers Jewelers, the place to go for that perfect gift. Stop at Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison. Hi, this is Brian Posick, and I can't wait for Mark Osiki's Casting for Kids Fishing Tournament coming up Saturday, May 17th on the Madison Chain of Lakes. It's a great time, great people, all for a great cause. There's lunch, dinner, raffles, and auctions, all to support the American Family Children's Hospital, UW Carbone Cancer Center. Plus a chance to win an Alumacraft fishing boat from Don's Marine. Join us on the water May 17th. Donate or partner with us. Learn more and register at castingforkids.org. That's casting4kids.org.
On the air, on demand, on social, on Wisconsin Sports. Serving Wisconsin sports fans. This is 100.5 ESPN.
Take my heart, don't break it.
Jesse, do I give you credit for making this happen?
No.
Okay, good, because I'm really excited about this, and I didn't want it to be because of you. Joining us now, another of my favorite players that I got to cover, and a guy that comes up all the time, and I think we may finally be able to say, God, they haven't had a great safety since Nick Collins retired. I think we may finally be able to retire that phrase. After what? Over a decade of saying it? It is the great Nick Collins on Wilde and Tausch. Man, every time I see you, there is more gray in that beard. You're making me feel very old.
I feel old, too. How y'all doing, man?
We're good, Nick. How are you? It's great to have you back.
What a great welcome, Nick, right? That Jason can't say hello. He comes right at you with a beard. You know, the gray in the beard.
He came with the beard. Talk, we finally got us a nice safety there, all the good things. But I'm doing well. I'm doing fine.
Let me start with something good then and make up for my rude introduction of you.
All good.
And I know we want to talk about what you've got going on with Visit Milwaukee and the tailgate party at Panther Arena for the draft. We'll get to that in a minute. But as I was thinking about you, obviously I loved covering you. You and I had a great working relationship, and we've stayed in touch since. But I found myself wondering, there are so many photos in Packers history. There's only a handful of them, though, that are iconic, right? Like Jerry Kramer carrying Vince Lombardi off the field, right? And him looking up at Vince Lombardi. But one of them is you in the end zone in Super Bowl 45. Arms outstretched to the heavens after your pick six touchdown. My question is, I see a photo, just a little tiny piece of a photo behind you. Is that photo, or that looks like Lambeau Field? So that's not
that's that Lambeau.
Yeah.
That's to get us in. That picture right there, that's to get us in the playoffs right there.
Okay.
That's over the Chicago Bears, the last game of the season.
So is it somewhere in your, and I know that your wife runs a very tight ship. We've talked about that before. You'd be lost without her, just like Tausch and I are the same way. But is that photo somewhere in the Collins house in a very large shape on like a canvas? Is it somewhere?
No, this actually, I'm in my office at work. I'm coaching at Bethune-Cookman now. I'm the quarterback coach there. So it's in my office.
So you do not, but you don't have the one from the Super Bowl in your home anywhere?
I have that in my man cave. I do.
Okay, good.
I do.
How is coaching going before we get into anything else? Because I did know that you went back to your alma mater. Yeah, you and Woodson, man, you guys talked like you weren't going to coach. You just were going to live your life, and now you just couldn't help yourselves, could you?
Hey, man, had to do it, man. I think it's just a blessing to have this opportunity to give back. Just to be around young men, teaching them the game, keep teaching them the right way to play the game. And it's also just, it gave me something to do and be around the game. So I love the game. And, man, I got tired of seeing bad football out there.
Nick, did you talk to Al at all about kind of the journey because I would have never guessed. I don't know if you felt the same way. I never would have guessed Al Harris was going to be a coach. Like, that just was not where I thought.
Man, that was crazy. I never saw that coming at all. But once he got into it, man, he's been doing a phenomenal job. Man, he's having a hell of a career as a coach. And I think he's up there in Chicago now.
Yeah,
he is.
Oh, man.
Do you want to? I know you're focused on the job you have currently, which is you are very proud of your alma mater. I know that. Mm-hmm. Would you, if Al calls tomorrow and says, "Hey, I need a safeties coach. I need my old partner," would you be willing to make the jump? Because that, I know you work hard now, but the NFL, man, woo, what do you think?
It'd be tough, man. It's just the Bears, you know what I'm saying? Nah, it's just I have to sleep on it. Nah, if you do call me, it'll be a blessing. I would consider it, but it'll be tough for me. It'll be tough.
So I remember
Look
the first.
at Wilde's trying to stir stuff up again.
Yeah,
you just get into your new job. You're finding your way, and he's already trying to create controversy, saying, "Well, Nick Collins is thinking about leaving for the Bears." Like, what? Jason hadn't changed much, has he, Nick?
Not at all, man. Jason gonna be Jason all the time.
Oh, great. Now I got both of you ganging up on me.
Why are you always trying to stir stuff up, Jason?
So, Nick, one more thing on coaching, because I do want to get to McKinney, and I really want to get to your event that you've got planned with Jordy Nelson down at the Milwaukee Panthers Arena in Milwaukee for the draft. I am curious, though. You know, I remember when you came on with Tausch and I early on in the show's existence, and you were like the bus driver, right? You were taking the kids to school, picking them up, taking to their, and then you were coaching at the high school, right? So, what has it been like to get into this? And you said giving back, and you joked about bad football, but you're one of the best to ever do it, man. And so I got to think that these kids love having someone who did what you did now helping them become better players. What's it like for you to feel that?
Man, just to receive the love, and sometimes, you know, you still get the bad apple sometimes. Some guys still want to do it their way. Then you got some guys that really dive in and just try to pick your brain, ask the questions that's necessary to be great. But yeah, man, I love what I do, man. Just to see these guys flourish and their academics and also on the field. And just to, you know, it's no gratification for me. It's like I'm a proud big dad of all these kids that I was able to coach and, you know, just be a part of their life and be a part of their journey. So, man, I think what's more gratifying is when they give you that call whenever they're done and they done moved on and they be like, Coach, man, you was right. You told me this is how it was going to be. I think that's the more rewarding than anything.
Well, you certainly give them something to strive for, too, because I remember when you were drafted, you know, a lot of us didn't know a lot about you. There was a pick before you that got a lot of attention. It was they picked a quarterback. I can't remember his name. But
don't do 12 like that, man. Don't do 12 like that.
I kid. But you obviously built an incredible career, and we wish it would have lasted longer. But the fact that you're giving back to these guys, I absolutely love it. So speaking of you and connecting with people, you've got this thing with Visit Milwaukee. It's on the Saturday of the draft. You guys are having a tailgate party. Jordy's going to be there. Maybe I'll show up and try and get him to come out of retirement since I'm always being teased that I still want him on the team. But you're doing this at Milwaukee Panther Arena. For folks that are interested, they can go to visitmilwaukee.org. The $75 VIP tickets are available now. There's also $10 general admission tickets. It's presented by Potawatomi Sportsbook. How often do you get back to Wisconsin? Because I'm guessing when people see you, they're excited to catch up with you and see how you're doing.
Man, I'm in and out at least 3 to 4 times a year. Man, it's just amazing when I do go, you know, come back up into Wisconsin. Man, it's just the love and the appreciation of the time that I was there, and I just love just to be a part of that. You know, I think you can't take it for granted. You know, we work so hard, Tausch, you know, we work so hard just to, you know, be out there doing something we love, but it goes to the fan because the fans always showing us love and being there for us when it counts the most.
No doubt about it. That's one of the great things about being a Packer and a former Packer is the fans still love to show their appreciation. I think that's one of the cool things, and Nick, you were one of the best to ever do it. And as Jason mentioned when we were introducing you, it has been a while. We've had these discussions for 10, 11, 12 years. Nobody's been able to kind of figure out replacing Nick Collins. And then last year, for whatever reason, the Giants say, we're not going to re-sign Xavier McKinney. And Goody goes and snaps him up, and all of a sudden we got big-time play back at the safety spot. What did you – I don't know how closely you watch on a game-to-game basis, but what did you see from Xavier McKinney last year?
Man, I just I saw a lot of great things, man. I like the way he go attack the ball. I like the way he approached the game. And he brought a lot of excitement to the game. Something the Packers been missing on the back end for a while. And that's what it's about. How can he get all the guys around him to play on the same level that he was playing on? I thought he brought that that veteran leadership to the Packers, and that's what they needed. And it was awesome to see that. That's once again back there on the back end.
Yeah, Nick, when Charles came, it seemed like things kind of swung, and watching film, and I always laugh because Al would come in sweatpants all the time. Next thing you know, he's rocking a suit. You guys are all coming in game days, all dressed up. But changing that tone, and we saw a ball hawk again. You were a ball hawk. I guess, could you kind of just take us in, and how does that change when you see somebody else doing that? I know you guys used to do, and it wasn't bounties, but you used to have things where interceptions and, during training camp, and that competitive juice, that carries over to everybody else, and that brings and elevates the rest of your secondary. That's just as important, I would guess, as what, from Xavier doing it himself, right?
Absolutely. I think that's what you need. You need to be competitive at every segment of the game, and practice in the game as well. And I think that's what Charles brought to us, and showing us a different way. We was able, like you said, we had drop balls, missed interceptions, that we had a little pot that we used to put money in. So whoever get a pick in the game, that's who win the money. So it was just something to, always stay competitive, always having that competitive edge. And I think and I don't know if they still doing that or what they doing, but I think what Zay did was teaching the young guys, man, you got to get in the film room. You must study. You must know what our opponent's trying to do to us. And I think you break the game down in different segments. On third down, who they go to play on third down. When the game is on the line, who they want to go to. Just the little things that people don't really think about throughout the game. And I think this year they did a good job. Bringing McKinney in and to do all those things to help the young guys figure things out.
So because Charles would go into detail, he comes on the show, at least once a year, and he went into some detail. How much of that did that change the way you approach the game, just in how Charles watched film? Because I think we all watch film, and then you're really watching it and understanding what you're looking for so that it will carry over to a game. How much of Charles's, I guess, leadership did that matter to your career?
A lot. He helped me a lot. It's all about your pregame checklist. You got to know the down and distance. You got to get the call. You must know the formations. You must know all the adjustments when the offense is shifting and moving around. So you got all this playing through your head at the same time, and you got to get everybody lined up. I think for me, it was just, okay, do I have my brother's back? Because Charles would jump something in a heartbeat, and we had that relationship where he'll say, "I'm gone." I know, okay, I got to get over the top. Same thing. If I see a play and I recognize the formation, I look at him and I'm gonna take it. If he come inside, I'm gone, and he replace me. So it's just all about knowing your brother and knowing the defense and how it worked for our success. And I think that what helped us be one of the best defense that ever played the game. I think 1 year we had more interceptions than we had sacks. That's unheard of, And man, it was just beautiful to have all those guys on the back end just on the same page with the same goal, same purpose, man, we were special back then, man.
Hey, was that verbal? Was that verbal if you decided, hey, Charles, I see this, I recognize the route, I recognize the formation, and was there ever a case where there wasn't the communication and a big play happened and you all had to go back over to the sideline and explain that maybe you saw something, you jumped it didn't work, and a big play went the other way?
Man, I remember when Charles first got here, quick little story, when Charles first got there, we were down in Miami. And we both recognized the formation. We both was like, if he come inside, I'm going. So he was like, I'm the veteran, so I'm going to take it. But I was the young head, stubborn, like, nah, this is my play. And we both jumped on it. The guy behind us caught the touchdown, and me and him got in a little altercation. But with that altercation, that's how we grew closer. The bond was there. And that's when we had that real heart-to-heart sit-down, and the rest was history.
It also helped that you guys won that game 34-24 instead of losing it. Was that the game where Clifton got the bad sushi?
I think that was the bad sushi.
Yeah.
Bad sushi in the strip mall. Nick never
and
had
it was so
sushi
hot.
in a strip mall.
It was like 120 degrees down there on the field. It was it was rough.
Talking with legendary Packers safety Nick Collins on Wilde and Tausch. All right, quick question. I want to talk a little more about the defense and then a little more about the draft too. But when everyone elevated their fashion game with Charles, why did that not impact the offensive line at all? Because God knows Tausch wasn't dressing up.
That's not very nice. What the heck is going on here today?
I would say this. We wanted to try to be professionals, like, so Charles was like, we professionals, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna dress up, let them know we're here for business. I think when big games, I think Tausch threw on a little suit. He ain't have no tie on, but he had on a suit with his little button down, halfway.
You gotta make sure you're
open.
comfortable too, yeah. No doubt.
So Nick, since you watch,
well, hey, Nick. We're not going to look good. You know the old look good, feel good, play good? We just want to play good. All that other stuff, be comfortable, play good.
Right. I understand.
All right, Nick, couple things so we can let you get back to coaching. One, you talked about how you watched this defense. So Jeff Hafley, talk about trying to find a replacement for Nick Collins for over a decade. There's been some inconsistency in the systems here too, right? And the defenses have kind of been okay, not great, all over the map. It looks like they finally have a system that really works. What do you see when you watch this team defensively under Jeff Hafley?
I think Hafley doing a good job understanding his players and who he has out there on the field. And I think they believe in him and trust in him, so it allowed them to go out there and just play freely. And that's what you want. You need a coach that's going to believe in the players that he have, and how can he shape the defense around those type of players that he have. He inherited some of those players, so he didn't get to bring some of those guys in, so he inherited them. So how can I make everybody happy and have fun at the same time? And I think he's done a magnificent job with doing with the Packers.
Well, and one of the guys that was, at least early in the season, seemed to be reborn in his system was Jair Alexander. And he had a pick 6 in Tennessee. I know you didn't get to play with him, but you've watched him. It looks like they're going to move on from him. Goody leaving open the possibility, I guess, of him coming back. When you look at him, you see a guy who could still play. I'm curious what you think if you don't have a guy of that talent in your back end. Like, do you view him as a piece they can't live without?
You know what? Alexander is a great player. When he's on the field, that's the type of guy you want on the field. The thing is, how can we keep him on the field?
Right.
And I think that's the decision that the Packers got to, figure out. Do we want to continue to have this great player, but how many games we gonna get out of him? You know, and I think there's no knock on him. It's just, man, it's the nature of the business, right? I think for the past 3 years, he probably played 12 games.
Yeah,
maybe
about,
a little
about
more.
half of their games he's played. Yep.
You know, so that's gonna be a tough decision. I think, do you give him to training camp and see what he can do and see that, or are you go ahead and cut ties? You know, I don't know.
Yeah, they definitely face a big decision there. All right, before we let you go, again, it's visitmilwaukee.org. You can get tickets. It's Nick Collins. It's Jordy Nelson. It's at the Milwaukee Panthers Arena. Tickets are on sale now. The event is presented by Potawatomi Sportsbook. All right, before you go, Nick, I made the joke earlier about that 2005 draft because that is the Aaron Rodgers draft. It's not the Nick Collins draft. But they got a damn good football player in the second round,
Nick
too.
Collins, it was the Nick Collins draft. I can tell you that.
Absolutely. Coming from a small school, boy, you couldn't tell me nothing. Second round behind Aaron Rodgers. Oh, man,
Aaron
I'm
Rodgers.
living the life.
No, Nick played a lot earlier than Aaron Rodgers did. I can tell you that.
That's also true. Yes, exactly. So just take us back to.
I can say that. You know, I did start before you did. So
you did.
Yeah, I'll say it for you, Nick. I got no problem saying that.
So take us back as we let you go. Take us back to your draft day. Think back to that day in 2005. What stands out still in your memory 20 years later?
What stands out? My parents and my agent knowing that I was going to get drafted high, and I didn't think I was going to get drafted until 6th or 7th round, right? And they had this big party, surprise party that I didn't know nothing. So I was, young. I was like, I'm going to just hang with a couple of my buddies. We're going to go to the mall, run around looking at some females here and there, just having a regular day. And my mom called and was like, hey, I need you to meet me at this conference room at this hotel. And I was like, Mom, for what? I'm not getting drafted on the first day. So I go over there, and it's 100 plus people in the conference room. They got the draft table, and everything set up. So I was shocked. But what stands out? The prank call I got before I got drafted. It was like first round. I think Atlanta had the 25th pick or the 26th pick or something like that. And one of my buddies called my phone, but it was from Atlanta. It was like, you might want to pick it up. And he got on the phone like, hey, bud, how draft going? Oh, man, I was like, I to this day, me and him talk about it. Like, I still owe him for that. But I think just to get the call from Green Bay, from Ted Thompson, bless his soul, and telling him that they were thinking about drafting me, I think that part, I went silent. Everybody else was screaming. I was silent because I was in disbelief just to be in that position to have that opportunity.
Well, there were a lot of people that didn't know a lot about the safety from Bethune-Cookman, who could also play corner and was a ridiculous athlete. And Ted Thompson knew, and he could not have been more right about you. And
you know what? It's April Fool's today. I think it's a good day to get your boy back. I don't know what you could do to him, but it's a good day to get him back.
You know what? You're right. I didn't even think about that today. I need to give him a call and be like, come up with something.
Nick, we always love it.
Tausch?
Yeah, Tausch is always thinking of ways to get back at people. That's for sure. Nick, we always love having an excuse to talk to you, buddy. We love it when it happens. Thanks so much, and good luck going ahead with your coaching career. Good luck with the big event on the Saturday of the draft, and we'll see you down the road. Thanks.
I appreciate it. Thank y'all for having me, man. Y'all stay blessed.
Nick Collins, one of the all-time good guys that I've gotten to cover. One of your Tausch, you played with him for 5 years, right? 6 years?
So 5 or 6 years, yeah.
He's
right there. I'm telling you right now, you don't. I was just thinking when he was telling that draft story. Everybody always thinks they're going to get drafted higher. How many guys think they're going to get drafted lower?
Right?
His humility, he was never, a super vocal guy. He just was a player. And you loved him as a teammate because he was a great teammate. It wasn't about him. Mm-hmm. It was about the team. Now, I'm sure guys in that room, when he's talking to Charles about jumping that route, and Charles trying to jump. But that's why he's a great player. He was a great talent. He was underlooked, and you just heard it right there. He has almost that imposter syndrome that Joe Thomas had.
Yeah,
where
I was thinking the same
I
thing.
can't believe I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
And that can be a powerful tool when you use it the right way, and man, did he do it.
Yeah, one of the best to ever do it, and as Mike McCarthy, I'll never forget having that conversation with him at the NFL meetings, which are going on right now, but him talking about how Nick Collins was on a Pro Football Hall of Fame track, and he was right about that. And that's it's also a reminder of the dangers of the game you guys play. And what someone's capable of changing because of injury. We'll talk a little bit more about what Nick had to say. I thought his stuff about this Packers defense was really interesting, and as somebody who watches them every week, he's like the defensive end of Bulaga. Like we need Bulaga can do the offense every week, and if Nick can find time in his coaching schedule, he can break down the defense for us every week. We'll talk more about
if you're not trying to get him 5 other jobs, and you're a beauty, dude. You are an absolute beauty.
I feel like it's important to kind of lighten the mood and have a little fun and maybe get people irritated a little bit with me. It seems to work.
That's really fun. Hey, you look old and gray. You put on weight.
What's your social security number? More next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
We're on the Packers.
You still want to see that steady play, that steady improvement, and you didn't get it from Jordan Love?
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
That just makes the stakes that much higher this season.
Nobody covers the green and gold like 100.5 ESPN.
In the next 30 seconds, I'm going to tell you how to save money and save the planet. It's simple. Ditch your energy bill and make the switch over to Everlight Solar. While electricity prices keep rising, Everlight Solar will give you the chance to take ownership of your power while also reducing your carbon footprint. As a local company based out of Madison, they'll be there with you every step of the way as you make the switch to solar. To learn more about how you can save money and save the planet, go to everlightsolar.com.
Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by your Badgerland Chevy dealers, proud supporters of Badger Athletics. Go to BadgerlandChevy.com. A surprise departure. Daniel Freitag, the second Badger to enter the transfer portal. The freshman guard announcing Monday. His words in a social media post, "My time at UW has been an enjoyable chapter in my life. To the Wisconsin fans, thank you for the support from the moment I arrived on campus. It has not gone unnoticed. There will be a spot in my heart and in my mind for my amazing teammates." Freitag, the program's top recruit in the 2024 class, also a consensus 4-star and third-ranked player out of Minnesota.
Everyone's talking about the draft, but you won't feel one from high-quality Pella windows. Get no-interest financing options or free glass upgrades today at PellaWI.com.
Ben Brust here to tell you about the Princeton Club. If you're looking for a place where you can better yourself while having a wonderful atmosphere, you have it at the Princeton Club. Strong communities, strong body, and strong mind. All it takes is one small step to start today. You will see that you have everything you need in order to achieve all of your goals. Find your better tomorrow at the Princeton Club. 8 Madison locations where you go in there, you take a tour, and you realize this is a place for me. Find more at PrincetonClub.net.
Metro Ford Madison is Madison's trusted Ford dealership. Whether you're in the market for a new or new-to-you vehicle, Metro Ford of Madison has the customer service that's second to none. Metro Ford is also the home of the 2 years no-charge maintenance offer on new vehicle purchases, making it the place to go for the new Ford of your dreams. Browse their inventory, schedule a service, or see this month's offers at MetroFordofMadison.com. That's MetroFordofMadison.com.
Talk Badger sports year-round with the Jump Around podcast.
Yeah, I mean, Coach was saying who wants to take it, and I think probably 20 of us were pointing right at him saying it's got to be you.
Tune in for the Top Badgers conversations every week, featuring special guests with Wisconsin players, coaches, and more.
She's got the confidence to say that she wants to. It's a pretty big moment, and we all trusted her.
The Jump Around, brought to you by Steinhoffels. Streaming live every Thursday on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel and available wherever you get your podcasts.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
Hi, this is Lee, inviting you to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. We got a great happy hour every day of the week from 4 o'clock to 7, and our patio during the summer is open too. If you're getting married, special occasion, a birthday, anniversary, or even a business meeting, we've got all the accommodations right here at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. You work hard, and sometimes you're not sure what you want to do, where you want to spend your money. I want to encourage you to come into Ruth's Chris Steakhouse and say hello. It'd be a pleasure to meet you.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
Let's make tonight the weekend. I don't wanna wait. I don't wanna wait. I don't wanna wait. Got no reason not to celebrate. Baby, I just don't wanna wait. Tonight's the weekend. I don't wanna wait. I don't wanna wait.
Matt LaFleur spent 34 minutes talking with a handful of reporters at the NFC Coaches Breakfast this morning at the Breakers Resort in Palm Beach, Florida. We'll get to that in the 10 o'clock hour. Briefly, Tausch, we'll hear some of the clips again later from Nick Collins. But as I said to him, you know, they spent a long time trying to replace him, but they've also spent a long time trying to find the right defensive coordinator. I am eager. That was not something that LaFleur talked a ton about during the breakfast this morning. But listening to Nick talk about this system, it really does seem like this team could be a defense, run the football, get your tight ends involved, and then your quarterback doesn't have to carry as heavy a load. Does that feel like what their recipe is trending toward, or you seem skeptical?
No, I'm skeptical. I mean, I think the defense can be better. They're going to be taken away, but you don't pay a quarterback $55 million for you to say, well, just don't screw it up. You got to be a dog. And whether or not that's going to be with Josh Jacobs and Tucker Kraft, which is what I think is going to happen. Mm-hmm. But let's not what I don't want to do is say, oh, shucks, let's just let little Jordan just go about his business. Jordan needs to be the guy. Mm-hmm. Like, you can win games. You ain't beating the big boys in this league if you don't get big-time production from that position. Period. Thin. So I think that narrative needs to be squashed. Jordan Love going to be healthy. Is everything going to be on him? No. But is there a lot? And does he need to be more consistent than what he was last year? Yeah, he does. And he needs to be, I think we could say, though Josh Jacobs was the best player on offense last year, Jordan Love needs to be the best player on offense this year.
While we were talking to Nick Collins, the NFL owners have tabled the tush-push conversation.
Pushed.
No,
they've pushed it.
Clever. Yeah, that's very clever.
Nice.
You're very good. No decision made
They've
on its
pushed it
future.
to the rear. They've pushed it to the rear.
All right, don't get
of
greedy.
the agenda. What do you mean don't get greedy?
Also tabled and not just denounced. The Lions' proposal to reseed the playoffs. Possibly more discussion of that in May instead of just division winners.
Why not? Sure. Yeah, that's another one. Go ahead and do that, too.
We'll get to the 10 o'clock hour.
Let's just put everybody in the playoffs. Just put everybody in there. We got to make it fair. So there should be, what is there, 16? Let's get 14 teams in both sides. Everybody gets a chance. And then give them orange slices after the game.
I know you're being obtuse right now, but could you
facetious? I'm being facetious.
Spent a lot of that today.
Facetious, sure. Could you imagine a 32-team NFL tournament postseason?
How fun would that?
It would be pretty cool.
Be bad for player safety.
Yes,
though.
I agree. I'm on board.
Who was the worst team in the league last year?
Entertain me.
Listen, for me, being selfish now, let's just play this season. Let's go, baby. 18, 20 weeks, and then let's do a March Madness-style bracket. Let's get it all the way up to the end of March Madness.
You get the Titans against
totally agree, Jesse.
Titans-Lions in the first round, 1 versus 32. See what happens. I love it.
Relegation to the UFL.
Yeah.
You guys are just over here revolutionizing the league. We need to get to the 10 o'clock hour.
No, put it in college. Whoever wins the college championship is the 32 seed the next year. And whoever's last has to go to the SEC.
It just means more there. The 10 o'clock hour starts in 2 minutes. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
This update sponsored by UW Credit Union. For every stage of life, UW Credit Union is here for every you. Kids and seniors, Quartz wants to see you at American Family Field. On select weekday home games, kids 14 and under and seniors 60 plus can save 50% on tickets. Following the game, seniors may stroll along the outfield warning track. Visit brewers.com/kids and seniors to learn more. Join UW Credit Union at uwcu.org. Insured by NCUA.
Hi, this is Dave Kane. You're listening to Madison's Home of the Bucks, a good Karma brand radio station, 100.5 ESPN WTLX, Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson, Sports Center, brought to you by Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison for generations. Check them out, 220 State Street and online at goodmansjewelers.com. The Milwaukee Brewers 0-4 to begin the 2025 MLB season. Maybe a night game for a change of pace. We'll mix things up for the crew tonight. First night game of the season, 6:40. First pitch tonight at American Family Field. The Brewers hosting the Kansas City Royals for Game 2 of their 3-game set. It's Chad Patrick getting his first career Major League start on the mound for the Brewers tonight, opposing Michael Lorenzen of the Royals. Again, 6:40 first pitch. Pregame coverage starts just after 6, following Jim, Matt, and Molly here on Madison's new home of the Milwaukee Brewers, 100.5 ESPN. Because of the Brewers tonight, the Phoenix Suns visiting the Milwaukee Bucks at 6:30, nationally televised on TNT. Listen to it on our sister station, 620 WTMJ, or on 1670 The Zone. Pregame coverage starts tonight at 6 o'clock. Football, Matt LaFleur speaking with the media at breakfast this morning at the NFL meetings in Florida. We'll hear some of what the head coach had to say on Wilde and Tausch coming up right now.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now. We'll have some of the audio from Matt LaFleur, thanks to Rob Domofsky, who sent that along so I could transcribe my portion of the conversation, and we could run some audio on our show.
With an actual microphone this time.
I'm still not sure is that true?
It sounds like it compared to what we were seeing clips of on social media earlier today. Surprised you didn't want to go stand outside next to a diesel truck to do this press conference today.
It would improve the quality of the sports centers, that's for sure. So
I don't know about that. That might be a bridge too far.
So Michael Rodney on Twitter, taking the link to my story about Elton Jenkins moving to center and Rasheed Walker versus Jordan Morgan at left tackle. There will be no competition at left tackle. Walker plays the position better in the NFL than Morgan played it in college. I can't speak to that, and I don't know Michael's background either, but the next part I think is interesting. The Walker disrespect is mind-boggling. The guy had a better 2024 season than most of the team's highest-paid players and former number 1 draft picks. I think I might agree with that.
Yeah,
Now,
I'm not going to argue with...
he's not Joe Thomas. No one is confusing Rasheed Walker for Joe Thomas.
But he was not...
He's not a bum.
Was there ever a game where you thought, what a liability?
No, he had some penalties early. No doubt about that.
Yeah, and I mentioned that earlier in the show. But the deal is you have to constantly earn and push. And when you draft a guy with a first-round pick that has stated he wants to be a left tackle, that's where he played, and you're going to open that up. Life ain't fair, man. And Sheed will have a chance to knock out that left tackle spot and keep it, but he's going to have to be really good. And I think he has been a really consistent, good football player. And there will be no shame and I don't think anybody would be upset if Sheed holds him off and he is the left tackle. But I think this is the part that, the economics of football come into play. Mm-hmm. Zach Tom's going to get paid in a monster way sometime in the next 5-6 months prior to the season starting. Are they going to – they just paid Banks Bonko dollars. They're going to have to figure something out with Elton. They're not paying 5 spots top dollar.
No, they're not.
So is Rasheed Walker going to be a $15, $20 million a year left tackle? Maybe.
For someone else,
if he plays really well,
he's going to be even more.
He'll be – somebody else will, and then everybody will say, well, then trade him and get picks and all that. We don't know if Jordan Morgan can play that spot. So that's not going to be in play. If Rasheed Walker plays big boy football this year, he will get a big boy contract next year. If he doesn't, Jordan Morgan's going to take over, and he's got to be in year 2 of a 5-year deal, and that's how this all works. And, yeah, I agree with the second half of the Rodney tweet that I think Rasheed Walker plays left tackle. He's fine. But all of these other factors are in play. And I think Green Bay is going to draft an O-lineman pretty early in this year's draft, too, to add more into that, the whole depth part of this. I don't think you're going to see Zach Tom and Rasheed Walker being the starting tackles after this season, regardless of how this all shakes out with Jordan Morgan.
Why? And I think I know the answer to this, but why were the Packers able to keep you and Chad Clifton together? Was it in part because of your
being hurt?
Yeah,
I think that obviously helped, but that was also a long time ago. It's just a different. I think we're looking at it in a kind of a different sphere than what it was 25 years ago.
Well, all I know is that Rasheed Walker has played some pretty good football for them, and this would indicate to me that their thought process is, if he wins the job this year, great. If not, he'll be the swing tackle, and then somebody else can pay him. That's what this says to me, because otherwise, you're not taking this approach. LaFleur talked about the offensive line at breakfast this morning. This was in response to a question about the running game and the production from Josh Jacobs and the offensive line's role in that. Here's what Matt LaFleur had to say about the offensive line.
We're excited about Banks coming in and then moving out and back to center, and so we feel like we have a lot of pieces. There's going to be some good competition at a lot of spots, but you got to recreate it each and every year, and the only way you do that is you get to work, and we got to just that continuity of getting the starting five out there, and it's not just those guys. It's the tight ends. It's our wide receivers, and I think our wideouts do as good as anybody in the run game in terms of blocking.
So here's my question, Tausch, when it comes to competition, because I get it. Competition brings out the best in players and everything else. Is there a fine line, though, between making guys feel appreciated and respected and creating competition? Like, I know it's standards over feelings at 1265 Lombardi Avenue. And it has to motivate Rasheed Walker that this is the decision and this is the direction they're going. But is there any room? Are you allowed to feel like you've been a little disrespected here? Or is that just, you just can't allow yourself to think that way as an NFL player? Because I certainly would think that way if I was him.
Absolutely. You use that as fuel. I think that for Rasheed, he's no. This has been his career. Nobody has ever said and crowned him as the guy. He's a 7th-round pick. He obviously was a little bit dinged up and didn't probably get drafted as high as he thought he should. Mm-hmm. So he's disrespected there. And you utilize that and say, blank you. You want people to come around and say, man, you've worked and done it. And he did that. And, again, the surprise to me was that last year, 2 days into training camp, it was basically, it's Sheed's job, let's roll. And I think a big part of that was they didn't like Sean Ryan. They didn't like his conditioning. And they thought, there's more there to kind of push. Obviously now they look at Sean Ryan as somebody that finished the season strong, and they think Jordan Morgan's better suited to be out there and competing with Sheed. So, yeah, Rasheed Walker should look at this as a slap to, I guess as a disrespectful play, even though it's part of the business. Like it just is. And unless you're an established guy with a big boy contract, you're going to have to go through this every year. And I think it's healthy. Anytime you're starting to feel yourself a little bit and thinking that you've arrived, usually something will happen to kind of bring you back down to reality. Mm-hmm. Sheed is just, he could look at it as a blessing. He's never going to have that until he gets paid by somebody. He's never going to have the opportunity to say, this is my spot. It ain't going to be this year. It's going to be, I'm going to fight, I'm going to claw, and I'm going to win this job again. And I'm going to keep telling you guys, I'm your best option out here to win games. And until you do that enough that they say no mas, that's going to be the life he lives.
It is a contract year for him as well, so he is not lacking for reasons of motivation, that's for sure. But when you've started each of the last 2 years at left tackle, to be told that your job is now up for grabs again, we'll see how he uses that to fuel himself and get to where he wants to go. Are you a skeptic on Jordan Morgan? We have very little data on him.
We don't know. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I feel like he's definitely going to be. I think if all things are equal, Rasheed Walker would be the heavy favorite, but that's not the rule. But all things aren't equal. Is.
Yeah.
Well, except for overtime rules, no, I guess. That part's equal. But this is not going to be equal. Sheed is going to have to – Sheed's going to have to do some catching up, which sounds crazy because he has done this.
He's the incumbent, right?
I understand, but that's not the all of the indicators are pointing to they drafted Jordan Morgan because they like his tangible numbers, what he can do, how he moves, and I think he's shown that he can be a pretty good player when he's been healthy. He missed a bunch of time last year. He has not been outside. He hasn't played that position in the NFL, and it is a different world than when you're playing Pac-12 or I think it was Pac-12 at the time when he was playing. And you're playing against some guys that, aren't as good. When you're playing in the NFL, it is every snap. You can't have any lapses. And until you're out there doing it, it's a different animal that you're going to have to deal with.
Well, he was the first-round pick last year. Speaking of the draft, Verizon is giving you the chance to win the ultimate draft experience with the Road to the Draft sweepstakes. 10 lucky winners will win tickets to the first day of the 2025 NFL Draft here in Green Bay, including round-trip car service from Milwaukee, hotel accommodations, plus access to the Verizon viewing zone where you'll be taken care of like a first-round pick. So don't miss your chance to win the ultimate draft experience powered by Verizon. Hurry in to select Wisconsin Verizon locations and enter by April 13th. Official rules and full details can be found at ESPNWisconsinContest.com. No purchase necessary. You must be a legal U.S. resident of Wisconsin or Illinois and age 21 or older to participate. We'll hear more from Matt LaFleur at breakfast at the Breakers at the NFL meetings. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
Madison's home of the Milwaukee Bucks.
Lillard lobs up top to Giannis. Whoa, what a play!
Wisconsin Badgers volleyball.
Underneath it, pump set, left side, powers it down. What a rally, and Wisconsin comes out on top.
And now, the Milwaukee Brewers.
Swinging a fly ball to left. It is back to the wall. Gone! Churio, a grand slam.
This is Madison's new home of the Milwaukee Brewers, 100.5 ESPN.
Hey, it's Hunter Vaughn. ESPN Madison and Zimbrick Honda are celebrating the area's best high school sports stories with the Game Changers of the Month. Follow ESPN Madison on social media to see teams making an impact in their community. Nominate your local team today at ESPNMadisonGameChangers.com.
From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after, an in-depth recap of every Bucks game in 6 minutes. No more, no less. Bucks in 6 provides game recaps for every game. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis.
Puts it on the floor, spins down the lane, and plunges it through.
Or the deep threes from Dame.
Dame time has arrived with 107.
Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Find it now on bucks.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, and wherever you get your podcasts.
All day, every day, the Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you. 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
You remember the moments from that magical March.
Side Decker, it's a 3. Got it!
On June 26th, celebrate the squad with Made 'em Believe, a special night with Bo Ryan, Frank Kaminsky, and Sam Decker.
Here's Kaminsky, the drop
That's his favorite.
and the 2.
Presented by Bud Light, Michelob Ultra, Potosi Varsity Ale, and Potosi Hard Seltzer. Tickets are on sale now at uwhoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe, June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
With the next pick in the big draft, Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Dane County selects you. As we count down to the draft in Green Bay, Big Brothers and Big Sisters is also counting on you to help meet the growing demand of mentorship in our community. Become a role model, a motivator, a supporter, a positive influence. Empower the young people in our community to create a brighter future for all. Big Brothers, Big Sisters of Dane County presents The Big Draft in partnership with the NFL Inspire Change. Learn how to get involved at bbbsmadison.org.
We're on the Packers.
I just don't feel like Goody hits the home runs that merit holding on to draft picks like they're absolute gold. Because his first-round draft pick isn't gold.
Nobody covers the green and gold like 100.5 ESPN.
So our buddy Rob Domofsky asked the question of Matt LaFleur. Wouldn't it be something if Aaron Rodgers ended up with the Vikings?
Bold.
It is one of the boldest things he's done in a while. I'm surprised he didn't have Seth Walder do it for him. Here is how that exchange went.
Yeah, how would you feel about Aaron Rodgers playing in the division for the Vikings if that came to fruition?
It'd be a hell of a story, wouldn't it, Rob?
It would be. What about from a competitive standpoint?
Yeah, I mean, there's great players on every team, so you know, if it works out, it works out. But I don't. It's not something that like I'm going to sit there and constantly think about. Sure, you think about it the week of when you're playing somebody, but if it works out, great for them.
Well done, Rob. Secondly, I'm not saying that he's hoping that it happens like I am, but I appreciate him acknowledging what a great story it would be. Can you imagine how irritated he'd be the week of Packers-Vikings when all the questions were about Rodgers playing quarterback? He doesn't hide irritation very well.
No, but I think one of the things you're going to hear and see is that I was very hard on Matt LaFleur last year with the emotional whatever he was doing, firing flags and just hoping and wishing and thinking. I think he is going to take a big step this off. I think it's something he is going to focus on and understand that sets the tone for his football team. So for as much as I would love the drama and everything else, I want to see this team win.
Sure.
And win in a big way. I think he needs to be better, and I think he acknowledges that. And I saw some other quotes that he said about making sure you take emotion out of things. He had a conversation with his wife. I don't know if we'll get that audio, but I saw that clip. And I think that's going to be just as important as a lot of the other things that this team is going to do, because for Matt LaFleur, it's his football team. The Aaron Rodgers portion of it, okay, it was, a battle, whose team and all this other. And Aaron's obviously a big personality. The Jordan Love component and how he approaches it and how he's handling it, I think he needs to make a big step. And I'm guessing the Rodgers part of it, if he does end up in Minnesota, all that shouldn't matter to him. And I don't want it to matter to him. He can do what he wants privately, but publicly and how he does this as the front forward-facing person for this organization, it does matter. And I think he needs to be better, and I think he is working to be better.
And that's all you can ask, right? Like, if you acknowledge that you got to be better and then you work to get better, what more can we ask of you, right?
You got to be better. I mean, you can say all the right things, and if you're still bad, it's kind of so. It's one thing to say; it's another thing to go do. And I do want to see Matt LaFleur kind of grow in that part of it because I like his fire. I want to see him. I don't want to see him as a wallflower.
No,
but I don't want to see him fire the flag and like get choked up when a bad call happens. Like I don't want to see that either.
Jumping up and down when the official doesn't see you call a timeout.
There's some things. Well,
I was on board with that.
I want to see there is a fine line. He's been way too far on the other side of it. Get it to even. I'm not asking you to be, the
your
church
elevators
lady
of your emotions.
I want to see you grow into more maturity. You can still yell at a ref. I don't mind yelling at a ref, but firing a flag on a play you know ain't going to get one on a challenge because you're mad, it doesn't do you any good, and then it just sets a cascade of events for your players to say, oh, no. Take the excuses out of it. Find ways to accomplish what you're looking to do.
All right, we've got more from Matt LaFleur's breakfast at the NFL meetings. We also will talk more about what Rob has written this week, some interesting stuff.
Is it rude for those coaches to eat?
No, they don't
talking
eat.
To you guys.
So do they
eat prior to it, or they eat after?
No, I don't know when they eat because that used to be our big joke with back when I used to go to this every year. McCarthy would always give me a hard time because I'd be sitting there with a plate of eggs, bacon, and fruit, and he'd be sitting there with his coffee. How the hell don't we get to eat?
Very, very, very frustrating.
Mike, you can eat all you want. I don't mind if you eat while you answer my questions, but the people that are filming it, it won't be all that flattering. So he chose to drink coffee.
I was thinking if LaFleur had, eggs get cold real fast. Like, if you take your time eating breakfast, that kind of stinks.
Yeah, look.
I think you got to do oatmeal. I think if you're LaFleur, you got to do oatmeal.
I'm not interested in how they feel or whether they're getting fed or not because they have cut these now from an hour to a half hour. And it's not like these guys are available all the time. What used to be great about this was that you could leave for a minute or two and go get another coach if you had a question for them. Or since I had an NFC coach, I would go to the AFC breakfast, and when Joe Philbin was the Dolphins coach, or I got questions into Bill Belichick. Now
scouting out in the bathroom, who's washing their hands.
Exactly. Look at you. Memories like the corner of my mind. All right, I want to get to some of the other things that LaFleur had to say because, again, there's a lot. This is a pivotal year for a lot of people involved, including him and Goody and Love and everybody else. So we'll get to that coming up. Want to remind you that ESPN's Fantasy Focus football podcast is coming to Green Bay on April 23rd. Field Yates, Daniel Dopp, Mike Clay, Liz Loza, and Stefania Bell are doing a live show at our Tundra Trio. And ESPN Wisconsin wants to send you and a friend up to Green Bay to see the show happen live. Right now, caller number 10 at 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776 wins 2 tickets to ESPN's Fantasy Focus Football Live at the Tundra Trio. You get to see the show up close, meet all the hosts, and get complimentary food, beverages, and fantasy football advice, plus some Fantasy Focus Football Podcast merch. That's caller 10 right now at 844-770-3776. Visit ESPNWisconsinContest.com for full details. More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
Hold your friends close and your rivals closer on Jim, Matt, and Molly.
And we've been doing this for 30 years, and here's the thing, Grandma might have made apple pie for the past 60 years of her life. That doesn't mean Grandma's apple pie recipe is any good. Goody needs to fight nostalgia, fight the thought that we just should draft the best players available as opposed to drafting guys who fit a really good scheme.
Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. Weekdays 4 to 6 on 100.5 ESPN.
Welcome to the Chevy Lightning Round. Guess the clues to win. First team, you're up.
Powerful, commanding, unstoppable.
Silverado.
Adventurous, fun, techie.
Trailblazer.
Stylish, nimble.
Tracks.
Innovative, electric.
Blazer EV. Lightning Round champions. You've guessed all the right Chevy clues.
Wherever the year takes you, explore it together in the Chevy of your choice. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
Hey football fans, Verizon is giving you the chance to win the ultimate draft experience with the Road to the Draft sweepstakes. 10 lucky winners will win tickets for the first day of the 2025 draft in Green Bay, including round-trip car service from Milwaukee, hotel accommodations, plus access to the Verizon viewing zone where you'll be taken care of like a first-round pick. Don't miss your chance to win the ultimate draft experience powered by Verizon. Hurry to select Wisconsin Verizon locations to enter by April 13th. No purchase necessary to enter. Must be legal U.S. resident of Wisconsin or Illinois. Age 21 years or older. Void where prohibited. For official rules and full details, visit www.espnwisconsincontest.com.
Hey, ready to sweeten your game? It's time for Quick Trip's Nature's Touch Ice Cream. Ooh, making moves like the starting lineup of a championship team. Whether you're gearing up for the big game, celebrating a win, or just looking for a sweet break in the action. Chocolate, vanilla, cookies and cream, mint chocolate chip, and more. Yeah, there's no such thing as a bad pick. So why wait? Flavor doesn't scoop itself. Get your hands on your winning Nature's Touch Ice Cream flavor today. Only at Quick Trip.
Hi, I'm John Hayes of Goodman's Jewelers. It's hard to imagine, but Goodman's has been the diamond store of Madison since 1933, which means your parents, maybe even your grandparents might have shopped with us. We maintain the same high standards, honesty, and integrity that kept them coming back time and again. Keep their history and our history alive. Shop Goodman's Jewelers today in the heart of Madison at 220 State Street. We're online at goodmansjewelers.com.
The best is at Goodman's.
When it comes to your body, you want to trust a doctor, and you want to trust the experts. That's why the only place that you should consider going for GLP-1s and semaglutide is Carbon World Health in Madison. Because they're run by Dr. Nestor Rodriguez, they have a workout facility and trainers to help you reach your goals, and they can help with dietary suggestions. The experts for semaglutide and GLP-1s are Carbon World Health. Learn more at carbonworldhealth.com.
Looking to join an international quality golf club right here in Madison? Discover TPC Wisconsin, an instant classic in the heart of the Midwest. With a course co-designed by Steve Stricker and PGA Tour Designs, it's the 13th and newest TPC Network golf club in the world. Other high-quality amenities include a short game practice area, athletic performance center, and meeting and dining facilities, plus membership benefits that reach around the globe. Schedule a tour at tpcwisconsin.com and start your journey to a lifetime of priceless golf.
Brewers baseball is back.
Get up! Get up! Get out of here! Gone for Vinny Capra!
Hear the sound of summer right here on 100.5 ESPN, Madison's home for Milwaukee Brewers baseball.
When you tell me I'm a wreck, you say that I'm a mess. How could you expect anything less? You latched onto me, then cried how strong you were. I told you when you asked, I knew this wouldn't last. At least I could be honest about that.
Tausch, how often would you say we're ahead of the curve? You and me. More often than not?
Depends on what sense, if you're asking me.
Yeah, there's 100 things that we talk about. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I'm not sure either. But then again, I wasn't really asking for
Why
a specific.
Are you asking?
We've somehow been both ahead and behind on the video stream compared to some of our other shows. So I don't know what to think of that.
Well, I was more thinking about the international Dateline conversation that we were having.
Ahead and behind, yeah. That's good.
So because I think we were ahead of the curve in our view of what the Packers offense may look like. And you made the point that you don't pay a guy $55 million. This cup of coffee just handed to me. You don't pay a guy $55 million to just be a game manager, or do you?
No, you don't.
But with how things have played out at wide receiver this offseason, maybe this will be a more Josh Jacobs and Tucker Kraft, Luke Musgrave, Chipotle Ben focused offense.
It's not going to be Chipotle Ben. Okay, let's just.
Why are you always hating on my guy?
I ain't hating on him, but if Chipotle Ben has a monster role on this football team, no offense to Chipotle Ben.
This is totally offensive to Chipotle Ben.
No, it's not.
Also,
why
can't you say Chipotle? You always say Chipotle.
Chipotle.
Yeah, but I think it's spelled differently.
It's not, actually. But be that as it may.
You're not the only one who says Chipotle instead of Chipotle, but it is properly said Chipotle.
And they have ice cream now. So here is what Rob Tomofsky asked Matt LaFleur about the tight end position in his offense.
Could a tight end be a number one receiver in your offense?
Yeah, I think anything is possible. I would never limit it to just being a wide receiver.
As good as Tucker was, you want to get him.
Yeah, the challenging thing, I think, just when you look at us, and especially in the pass game, there are a lot of times where Tuck is in there in a chip position, chipping, then release him to the flat. And in a perfect world, you'd love to get 5 out on every play. I just think that dependent upon who you're playing, some of these edge rushers in this league, and it's not only edge rushers, obviously you saw when we played Philly, the interior D linemen were pretty spectacular that they had. But bottom line is, in order to throw the football, you got to be able to hold up in protection. Our quarterback has to, we always talk about reading with your feet and getting the ball out in the rhythm and the timing of the play. So, again, a lot of variables to it.
Tausch, what do you make of that relatively long answer in which he didn't really commit to anything?
Tucker Kraft's going to be their number one with the receiving the football. Unless something crazy happens, Tyreek Hill or something else, which, God, I hope that doesn't happen. Tucker Kraft's going to be the guy. And it's going to come from play action, but you can have a tight end. It doesn't mean he'll have the most catches per se, but he is going to be a number one option for your offense. That's what I want to see. That's what should have been probably seen more of last year, because he was an absolute dog, and he was the most consistent player in the pass-catching realm that we saw last year. And now I know you got Chipotle Ben, and Luke Musgrave is somebody. I'll be curious to see how they balance.
Me too.
Running more 12 personnel. You want to get those other wideouts. You still feel like you have to let these guys grow. How you balance that, going to be kind of an interesting little Rubik's Cube for Matt LaFleur and Adam Stenavich to figure out. So this is going to be a run-the-football play-action pass team, but that doesn't mean Jordan Love, again, I was shocked when you told me that stat a couple weeks after the season about the explosives, because it didn't feel that way. I want it to feel that way too. And that means in big games we see that, and not just when you're ahead by 20 points against the New Orleans Saints on a Monday night. Let's see it in the big boy games too. And that's where I think Tucker Kraft is going to need to be the guy. I think as this roster sits here right now, he needs to be the number one threat in the passing game.
So one addendum to that, as much as I want to get Chipotle Ben more playing time, because this was part of the breakfast that I transcribed, this stuck out to me, and I don't know if we have the audio, so I'm just going to read it because I'm curious how you get a player that is wired like Tucker Kraft to change or at least be a little bit smarter with the way he plays the game. Here's what Matt LaFleur said. One thing is evident when you watch. When Tuck gets the ball, usually good things happen. Great quote. He's a powerful dude. He runs extremely hard. I love how he finishes. One thing I think he's got to learn, just in terms of when he does finish, that he doesn't have to try to take somebody's head off every time. He gets a little out of control at times. I think there's a balance, but the mentality is exactly what we want. That's just something that we've talked about, is just being a little more under control and picking and choosing when he can take his shots.
Yeah.
What do you make of that? Because I think it's really smart.
Well,
I also think that sounds hard.
Well, it's really tough to pull back the reins, but again, you ask any jockey and or horse trainer, you would prefer to have that be the case than having to continue to kind of really prod to get going. So I always look at it, just be smarter, right? You work smarter. You don't always have to work harder. I don't want Tucker to change his mentality.
No.
What I want is for him to understand, hey, you don't need, if it's you picked up the first down, and you don't need to truck a safety when you're going out of bounds just because you can. Now, I love what that tells the opposing team is, hey, man, you're in for it. Bring it. But I want him to be healthy. I don't think he was fully healthy. I know, obviously, he started the season off not healthy. But even late in the year, I don't think he was fully healthy. You know, everybody's dealing with stuff. But that's what Matt LaFleur is talking about, is figuring out, pick your spots. Just like Jordan Love running the football. Pick your spots. Find the times when you need it, and you don't need to be a hero. Pick up the first down, slide, move on with your life. Wide receivers have gotten a lot, especially those little slot guys, have gotten a lot smarter about ducking down, picking up the first down, moving on with your life. You don't need to take the big boy hits just because you can. And I think that's what Matt LaFleur is talking about.
All right, there's a few more things that Matt LaFleur talked about at breakfast that I want to get to. Plus, I know Jesse's got a little game of Did You Hear This and some of the stuff that Rob Domofsky wrote this week. We want to get to all that. Coming up, want to remind you, some of our cousin subs of the day, cousin subs, we believe in better. We're in the Gruber offices, One Call, That's All Studios. I tell you about Gruber offices all the time, and I always tell you, I certainly hope you never have to call them, because then you've never been seriously injured in an accident, and that's a good thing. But if that disaster does happen to you, you want to make sure you have the best team on your side, and that is Gruber offices. One call, that's all. 414-276-6666, 414-276-6666, or go to the website gruber-law.com to find out more. More Wilde and Tausch, straight ahead. Stick around.
We're on the Packers.
If they're not better this year,
because we're on Wisconsin sports,
there's going to be a lot of seats warming up.
Nobody covers the green and gold like 100.5 ESPN.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
You, rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute is brought to you by Steinhoffels. Shop Beautyrest Black mattresses at Steinhoffels. The new Beautyrest Black is only $42 per month when you use Steinhoffels 60-month financing only at Steinhoffels. A surprise departure. Daniel Freitag, the second Badger to enter the transfer portal. The freshman guard announcing Monday. His words in a social media post, "My time at UW has been an enjoyable chapter in my life. To the Wisconsin fans, thank you for the support from the moment I arrived on campus. It has not gone unnoticed. There will be a spot in my heart and in my mind for my amazing teammates. Freitag, the program's top recruit in the 2024 class, also a consensus 4-star and third-ranked player out of Minnesota.
Everyone's talking about the draft, but you won't feel one from high-quality Pella windows. Get no-interest financing options or free glass upgrades today at PellaWI.com.
It's the season of upsets and buzzer beaters. It's also the season of hate and threats directed at college athletes. 1 in 3 high-profile athletes receives abusive messages online, and female athletes receive 3 times as many. 1 in 5 college athletes reports experiencing mental health concerns, but less than half of them will seek support. BetterHelp is partnering with college athletes by providing a free month of therapy to any student athlete who visits StopTheMadness.org. Visit StopTheMadness.org today.
The 2015 Wisconsin men's hoops team gave us all a march to remember.
There will be no undefeated champion on Wisconsin with an unbelievable stretch drive to the championship game.
On June 26th, enjoy an intimate celebration with the stars of the run with Made 'em Believe. Presented by M3 Insurance. World-class expertise and individual attention. Tickets are on sale now at uwhoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe, June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
With the next pick in the big draft, Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Dane County selects you. As we count down to the draft in Green Bay, Big Brothers and Big Sisters is also counting on you to help meet the growing demand of mentorship in our community. Become a role model, a motivator, a supporter, a positive influence. Empower the young people in our community to create a brighter future for all. Big Brothers, Big Sisters of Dane County presents the Big Draft in partnership with the NFL Inspire Change. Learn how to get involved at bbbsmadison.org.
Drum roll, please.
Carbless is here with refreshing new flavors. Introducing their Tropical Bliss Variety Pack. Let the summertime flavors of blood orange, watermelon, raspberry, and grapefruit whisk you away from the winter blues. New flavors, same great Carbless perks. Every handcrafted cocktail still has 0 sugar, 0 carbs, and just 100 calories. Find the Tropical Bliss Variety Pack in store wherever Carbless is sold and enjoy your winter passport to paradise. Grab a pack today and discover why Bliss is more with Carbless.
Get ready, Madison. The Packers Tailgate Tour rolls back into town on Wednesday, April 9th. Hey, it's Molly Brown from Jim, Matt, and Molly. Join us in supporting Dairyland Sports, a Madison-based nonprofit improving access to sports, fitness, and recreation for individuals with physical disabilities in Wisconsin. Learn more and support the cause at dairylandsports.org/Packers Tailgate. And stay tuned to ESPN Madison for your chance to win VIP tickets to the Packers Tailgate Tour. Sponsored by Visit Verona, Paul's Party, and ESPN Madison.
We're on the Badgers.
The expectations for Badger basketball that I have to let go of was the Bo Ryan expectation.
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
And that's not Great Guard's fault. That's the NCAA's fault.
This is 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
Hold on, I don't want to know what it's like when you're gone. I don't want to move on. I don't want to know what it's like when you're gone for good. You're slipping through my fingertips a little bit.
Since Tausch enjoys the rule change conversation.
Oh, Art Rooney. Got a good feeling about Aaron Rodgers signing with the Steelers. Old Artsky. I tried to tell you, McAfee's got his big live show in Pittsburgh. Just put 2 and 2 together, people.
All right, well,
he's going to announce it at the big live show. Come on.
That's not what we're talking about right now. What we are going to talk about.
The people don't like when we talk about Rodgers.
We're going to talk about.
I understand, but I find it interesting. So.
Well, that's important. We want you to do things that are interesting, and it is interesting, just not right now. Because I want to wrap up our little kind of Matt LaFleur hour with how the draft is impacting the offseason program, because I am curious what you think of this. Here's Matt LaFleur talking about how the draft being in Green Bay impacts starting the offseason program for the existing players.
Well, yeah, I think we're a long way from even getting to that point. You know, it'll be exciting to get the guys back in. We're going to have to maximize our time this offseason. It's just with the draft being in Green Bay, we're bringing the guys in a week later than everybody else. We're going to do the first week virtually, and then we'll hit the ground running. We're probably going to cut it a week early as well. I just think the totality of an NFL season is a long time. So I want to give those guys a chance to get away before we come back. But when we are together, we're going to have to maximize that time and try to, create the best offseason as we possibly can.
Dude, it's April 1st. You would have been back for the offseason program 2 weeks ago.
No, I just laugh when you got to maximize the time. We're going to start a week late, and we're going to leave a week early.
It's like me maximizing my time working on this show.
Coach
Jesse Nelson off-season. Yeah, it's the Jesse Nelson off-season program.
Skim a little here, a little there. We're good.
And occasional Wednesdays.
The nice part is your offense, right? You're gonna do some different things, and I think whether you're gonna try and figure out some duo run play action stuff and maybe more not out of shotgun. There's things, but this isn't some earth-shattering thing. I just thought it was blanking hilarious when you talk about maximizing stuff and then literally you don't even finish. There's not even a semicolon in the sentence. And it says, but then we're going to leave a week early. And there's probably going to be a couple of bowling or something else that the team's going to do. So it basically is telling you the off-season program, it is important, but it's not as important as everybody likes to make it out to be.
So I thought that you would get a kick out of that because, again, back in your day, way back in the old days of the early 2000s, you guys were back for the off-season program like March 15th. These guys won't be back until May. Must be rough.
Is there a breadcrumb of some type there with them saying that they're going to leave early? Like, does that mean they're starting? Like, are they in the Hall of Fame game or something that they would leave early?
That's a really interesting observation.
Jesse!
With Sterling
Sharp got
going into the Hall, Mike Holmgren not, which is ridiculous. Good question, Jesse. Very good question.
I think Jesse just broke some news.
When news breaks, Jesse's here to fix it.
Call Brust and get it confirmed. And since he's the newsbreaker on this on our team, call him. And I think Jesse's probably right. I think they probably got wind that they're going to be playing in that Hall of Fame game, a fourth preseason game. They're going to probably do a couple of joint practices. Get out of Dodge. Get out of there early. Jesse, I love busting your chops. I think you're onto something here. I do.
So the Hall of Fame class is not a very large one, right? Eric Allen, Jared Allen, Antonio Gates, and Sterling Sharp.
Packers-Chargers.
Might be something there.
Packers-Vikings. Oh. Aaron Rodgers taking the lead.
I thought he's playing for the Steelers, you just said, Art Rooney.
Well, that's what Rooney said. I mean, it's gospel.
Artski.
Not to be confused with Bartsky. We'll kick off the 11 o'clock hour, and we'll do that in 2 minutes. So stick around. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
You remember the moments from that magical March.
Side Decker, it's a three. Got it!
On June 26th, celebrate the squad with Made 'em Believe, a special night with Bo Ryan, Frank Kaminsky, and Sam Decker.
Here's Kaminsky, the drop stab, that's his favorite. And the two.
Presented by Bud Light, Michelob Ultra, Potosi Varsity Ale, and Potosi Hard Seltzer. Tickets are on sale now at uwhoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe, June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
This is Monte Ball.
Monte steps to the right, dashes, reaches, touchdown.
You listen to 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson, Sports Center, brought to you by Milwaukee Brewers Baseball on ESPN Madison. From opening day to the final game of the regular season, catch every game right here on Madison's home of the Milwaukee Brewers, 100.5 ESPN. And maybe someday they'll win a game. The Brewers 0-4 to begin the 2025 MLB season. Perhaps playing a game at night will be a nice change of pace. First night game of the season tonight at American Family Field, 6:40 first pitch. Pregame coverage starts just after 6, following Jim, Matt, and Molly here on 100.5 ESPN. Chad Patrick gets the start for the Brewers on the mound tonight, making his first career Major League start, opposing Michael Lorenzen, a veteran for the Royals. Again, 6:40 first pitch tonight. Pregame coverage starts just after 6. Those of you looking for the Bucks game tonight, the Bucks hosting the Phoenix Suns, 6:30 tip time at Fiserv Forum. It's nationally televised on TNT. You can listen on our sister station, 620 WTMJ out of Milwaukee, or here in Madison, you can catch the Bucks and Suns on 1670 The Zone. Matt LaFleur meeting with the media earlier this morning at the NFL meetings. More to collect on Wilde and Tausch straight ahead.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
The 11 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch. Presented by We're the NFL. We care very much about player safety. Begins now. So you had your little thing about overtime, which is stuck in your craw for many a year. This is mine.
I want you guys to admit that you're being hypocrites on this. That's all.
Don't make us call LePay to have this overtime debate again.
I have plenty of debates with Matt on that.
You
guys are being hypocritical because it's not equitable. You guys are all about equitability on it, and can you just admit that it's not equitable?
It's more equitable than being able to go score a touchdown and the game being over.
It's not what I asked.
It can't be perfectly equitable unless they do untimed turns. They could take the college. Would you rather the college one?
I don't want to get into this. You're right. I don't want this discussion. I don't.
Adam and DeForest texted us earlier on the Carbless ESPN Wisconsin Talk and Text line. He said they should simplify the overtime rule and make it first to 6 points. That way, you score a touchdown on the first drive, there you go, you win. If you kick a field goal, no.
Okay.
What just happened, we just had that, and nobody cried about it till y'all.
Well, it wasn't us. But be that as it may. All right, so if we care about player safety, we've reconfigured the kickoff return. Well, here's the breaking news from Palm Beach, Florida. The National Football League, on a one-year trial basis, is now tweaking the kickoff, the dynamic kickoff, which I don't know how dynamic it's been. But the whole idea is it's more like a punt, it's less like a kickoff. Well, they want more kickoffs. Kickoffs went from, I believe, 21% of the time to 36 or 38% of the time. Well,
I heard Troy Vincent 5 years ago say the kickoff needs to go away.
Well, it's coming back, and it's coming back with a vengeance because now they have agreed on a one-year basis to have touchbacks come out not to the 20, not to the 25, not to the 30. I feel like that little yodeling guy on The Price is Right. The 35-yard line.
Woof.
That seems, and we talked about this last year
they
with
need to get it to the
Nixon.
60-yard line, am I right? That's what they needed to get some pump back in that 60.
Two classics of American cinema that I now have access to as a Peacock subscriber.
Available now on Peacock.
The 60-yard line and Wicked. So I'm going to do a double feature of the two of them. It'll only take me 8 hours to watch them because Wicked Part 1 is so long, from what I'm told.
Yeah, just wait till Part 2 comes out.
I can't believe they broke that into 2 movies. So now 35-yard line, you can't just boot it through the end zone anymore. Like, giving them the ball on the 35-yard line, the offense the ball on the 35, that is a clear deterrent for touchbacks. Is it not, Mark Tauscher?
Yes, it is.
So we want more returns, which would, again, mean more collisioning than when they just kick.
It's a shame Keyshawn doesn't want to return kicks anymore.
Yeah, now's the time to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, this is why it just
hypocrisy. You hate hypocrisy.
Lose your sanity if you really want to just kind of see what the hell's going on. There's so much inconsistency with what the NFL is doing. I am not going to go on a tirade like I did on the overtime.
Come on, there's so much fun though.
No, I'm not going to. I just
do it.
It's still. What time is it in Japan?
Do it.
I'm still struggling a little bit. I got up for pickleball this morning. I didn't sleep great last night. I'm still.
When did you go to bed yesterday?
Maybe that's why I was a little cranky.
Like you were tired at noon. When did you go to bed yesterday?
That's a great question.
When did I go to bed yesterday? I tried to get back on a normal schedule. I tried to get back. No, I didn't go at 12:30. I tried to get back on a normal schedule. I'm still a little. It's just not
groggy.
Not there yet.
Are you groggy?
The bottom line is, you're all about getting rid of the kickoff. You're all about getting for player safety. It's the most dangerous play in football. And to your credit, you're trying to find creative ways to do things. I don't know if this is going to be it, because now you're forcing teams to kick short because you don't want to give the ball up on the 35. And you're going to end up getting those collisions back, and you're either for or you're against it. And I don't know what you're trying to do here. What is your goal?
More kickoffs, more excitement.
Entertain me. Yeah. So if that's the case, well done, NFL. You're eventually going to get it, but then it goes against Jesse's rules of you have to keep things uniform. Why are punts not going back to the 35? Why are punts at the 20? Touchbacks are touchbacks. Jesse, defend your position because I don't have the energy to do it.
I actually agree. I don't like that that's the case. Why would a touchback on a punt be different than a touchback on a kickoff? I don't understand why they enforce that differently.
Yeah, wouldn't you want them to go for it on fourth down so that there's more action? So make that touchback even more punitive. You want to do this, fine. I think it's idiotic. I'm not gonna go on I'm not gonna go on one of those tirades. But then do the same thing with punts. Make it uniform. Make it consistent. Make it equitable. Huh?
If the ball gets fumbled out the back of the end zone, where does it come out to?
60-yard line.
That should be the 60.
Oh, I don't want to relitigate that.
That's not fair. Nobody recovered the football. That's not fair either.
It's true.
You're such a little.
Why do you turn into a parrot?
You're such
a little whiner, Wildy. In case you didn't hear that the first time
you are.
Said it.
Well, that's not fair either, no, it's not fair.
Well, it's not.
When are we going to just come to grips? The NFL ain't fair. Why do we want to try it? It ain't fair. Some organizations are inept. Is that fair? I don't know.
The rules of the sport are designed for fairness. It's not like the world where life isn't fair. Like, there are rules in place for football, even more than other sports, that makes it to be more fair. Like, the draft in its entire design is designed for fairness and parity. Like, you can't say life isn't fair in the NFL. Like, it's very fair, actually. There's a lot of rules in place to do just that.
Those are some pretty good points. It's not bad, Jesse. Well done. for a guy who wasn't going to go off on a tangent or a rant there, we tiptoed up to the line.
Baseball isn't
Life's
fair.
so fair that there's still the big dogs, and then you got a bunch of other teams that stink. It's fair.
Not in the NFL. There's greater parity there than anywhere else.
Is there?
Well, Jimmy
Maybe
has.
start looking at that. Who's won all the championships? New England. There have been a lot. Is it really?
Did you want to
No, I'm
expound
asking.
on that?
Anyone besides New England you want to put in there?
No, I mean, you have about 5 or 6 franchises have most of the championships out of 32. So is it? Maybe.
It definitely does not reward ineptitude. Like the idea of having teams have the opportunity to get better. The Detroit Lions now, after years and years and years of wandering in the wilderness, are good. I don't know how good they'll be this year with the 2 changes in their coordinators, but they are good. They're a good football team because they finally had non-inept people figure out a way to succeed. But no, it is not so fair that you can suck at your job and your team still is successful. You're right about that. But in baseball, you got no chance. You got no chance is not true. You got limited chances. You've got your margin for error is so much smaller.
Well, maybe. Okay. Yeah, I got it. The bottom line on this whole thing is the NFL is just they're always. I give them a lot of credit that they're always trying to innovate and do some different things, but you're just stop. Again, man, I don't have it in me. I'm done. No more tirades.
Aww.
Yeah, I've had enough outrage today about what's happened because it rubs me the wrong way, all the hypocrisy. But I've changed. Hypocrisy used to drive me completely nuts. Now it just drives me nuts, and I've learned, breathe a little bit and just let it go. And that's what I'm going to do. So here you go.
Just like Elsa. So if we can put a bow on this, if you don't mind, my one question is, does this make the game more entertaining to have more kickoff returns? Because I don't know if this is significantly worth the player safety juice squeeze to have more kickoff returns. I'm not sure that it's that dynamic of a play that it's worth trying to jack up the number of returns. I'm not on board with that.
I would say it's definitely more entertaining than watching guys kick the ball out the end zone. So, yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that's a low bar to clear. But again, I have my doubts as to whether or not there's going to be a whole lot of value in this. But that is part of the big news.
My question to the league is going to be, what are you going to do when the injury stats come back that the kickoff injury rate now is back up to what it was before?
Great question.
What are we doing?
Great question.
But
I agree.
And that's the hypocrisy that I'm not. I've reiterated 3 times now, not tirading about.
Do you think we're closer to the kickoff becoming
Why do you
more?
keep doing this? Why do we keep doing this? I told you I'm not tirading about it. I know what you're doing.
No one's asking
Jesse,
for a tirade.
I know what you're doing.
No, I'm not. I'm just going
to
ask you one question.
I know what you're doing.
I'm not doing anything. I have no ulterior motives.
Okay.
I just have one question for you.
What's your question? All right.
I'm going to tread carefully.
Yeah.
Reviewing my mind. Yep, okay, this is how I want to ask this.
I'm not tirading.
This is not a tirade. No, I'm not asking that. Do you think we're closer to the kickoff becoming a more valuable play, or
you're just re-asking my question,
or to it not existing anymore?
Because you want him to go on a tirade.
Because in the YouTube comments, we've seen some fans who are saying, I thought we should just get rid of the kickoff. I'd rather see the kickoff go away entirely.
I just find it amazing that the UFL, XFL, did this same thing. The NFL stole it. The UFL said, this is dumb, we're getting rid of it. And the NFL has now tripled down on it.
Right.
It's a fascinating deal. The whole thing's fascinating to me. The kickoff is not going anywhere. And when the injury stats pile back up, what will the NFL do then? 3 years ago, 5 years ago, whatever it was, Troy Vincent basically said kickoff's done. It's
dead.
over.
The kickoff is dead.
I was all right with that. I was all right. Move it along. You give the ball at the 25 and let's go to work, man. That's, I'm good with it. All right. Well, that's not what you decided to do. And now you're making it very punitive to kick it out of the end zone, and you're going to have more hits. And, yes, there are going to be less collisions, but there's still going to be collisions. And when those numbers go back up, are you just going to say, well, that's the price of doing business in the NFL? Yeah, maybe that will be what they do. But no onside kick. Again, no tirades for me. I am going to just go along with whatever the NFL says and say, yep, good idea. That works. Keep entertaining us.
You're not. You may do that for the rest of today, but I don't see you doing that permanently.
How
All
come
right.
college hasn't made any changes to the kickoff yet?
Jesse.
Just wondering if the UFL did it, the NFL did it.
I do think it's worth. Tausch made the point, and I know I made it years ago or last year as well. The idea that you took this idea from the spring minor league as a panacea of solving the kickoff problem, and then that league abandoned it.
Is it Pangea? Is where all the continents were together?
I don't know.
Is that right?
It was Pangea. Pangea,
yeah. Panacea.
You just said panacea, right? Or panacea?
A panacea is the perfect solution, the ideal situation.
Where did you learn that word?
Never
panacea,
heard that before.
I've never heard that.
I'm just here to educate. Panacea.
Does it have like Greek mythology origins, or
a solution or remedy for all difficulties? A universal cure-all would be your definition. I don't know. It is Greek. Look at you, Greek and Latin. God, it's so great to do a show with someone so smart. We need to play trivia. I'm not going to go out on a rant here or something. Jesse, what's today's category? Notice we have not discussed the Brewers, who are 0-4.
Yeah.
They have some pitching injuries. Not the greatest time to have that as the season begins. They are giving up runs at an alarming rate.
They're looking like a bad Little League team. Like, when you trot a Little League team out there, and it's like, well, we got mercy ruled again tonight. That's what it's starting to feel like. They're down 9-10 runs every game.
I don't think they look like a Little League team.
47-15 they've been outscored in the first 4 games of the season.
Jesse's right. They stink great.
47-15.
Yeah, they don't have their pitchers. All right, I don't want to get into a debate about this. I don't want to be hyperbolic, but things are not off to a good start, and we'll leave it at that. But we're going to do Brewers trivia anyway. Brewers trivia Tuesday. Jesse, how many runs have they scored?
They've scored 15.
You do not want to do the number of runs they've allowed.
I would prefer to not do caller 47. That would be bad.
All right, let's do caller 15 for the number of runs the Brewers have scored through their first 4 losses. And are they going with another bullpen game today? Did I read that correctly?
I'm not going to share because there might be something in trivia related to it. So we'll talk about it during trivia, perhaps. How about that?
Perhaps. All right. Caller 15 right now, 844-770-3776. 844-770-3776. Caller 15 plays trivia, and we play it next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Hey, it's Hunter Vaughn. ESPN Madison and Zimbrick Honda are celebrating the area's best high school sports stories with the Game Changers of the Month. Follow ESPN Madison on social media to see teams making an impact in their community. Nominate your local team today at ESPNMadisonGameChangers.com.
Mark Tauscher here, introducing Pizza Hut's new Ultimate Hut Bundle. Get any 2 medium pizzas, 8 boneless wings, and your pick of breadsticks, cheese sticks, or cinnamon sticks with the perfect dip for only $24.99. You want even more? Upgrade to large pizzas or double your wings for just $5 each. Get the ultimate feast for the ultimate value because this deal is too delicious to miss. Hurry in or order online today at PizzaHut.com. The Ultimate Hut Bundle. Only at Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
All day, every day, the Carbless talk and text line is open for you. 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text Line. This is more.
Hi, this is Jeff Levering with the Brewers Radio Network. Ridgetop Exteriors, Wisconsin's trusted name in home improvement, does more than just top-quality roofing. They're your go-to for maintenance-free siding and energy-efficient windows, too. Ridgetop has expert credentials with leading manufacturers like Pella, James Hardie, and LP Smart Siding. For over 20 years, they delivered exceptional craftsmanship and service. Call Ridgetop Exteriors today or visit ridgetopexteriors.com. Ridgetop Exteriors, where customer service always comes first.
Ridgetop Exteriors.
Hey, ready to sweeten your game? It's time for Quick Trip's Nature's Touch Ice Cream. Ooh, making moves like the starting lineup of a championship team. Whether you're gearing up for the big game, celebrating a win, or just looking for a sweet break in the action. Chocolate, vanilla, cookies and cream, mint chocolate chip, and more. Yeah, there's no such thing as a bad pick. So why wait? Flavor doesn't scoop itself. Get your hands on your winning Nature's Touch Ice Cream flavor today. Only at Quick Trip.
Looking to join an international quality golf club right here in Madison? Discover TPC Wisconsin, an instant classic in the heart of the Midwest. With a course co-designed by Steve Stricker and PGA Tour Designs, it's the 13th and newest TPC Network golf club in the world. Other high-quality amenities include a short game practice area, athletic performance center, and meeting and dining facilities, plus membership benefits that reach around the globe. Schedule a tour at tpcwisconsin.com and start your journey to a lifetime of priceless golf.
Professional volleyball is in full swing from here in Madison. Don't miss a second of the action. Cheer on Love Madison Volleyball as they make history with some of the best players in the world. Olympic medalists, NCAA All-Americans, and one of the most talented rookie classes ever. This is volleyball at its highest level. Experience the excitement yourself. Get your tickets today at lovb.com. Volleyball is the next major league.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
When you're in the right place at the right time, things get done. The important things, like knowing what you need and how it all works. Talking truck. Fixing it right the first time. At Zimbrick Chevrolet, our people get it done right and now. That's how you know you're in the right place at the right time. And you'll never overpay at Zimbrick Chevrolet.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
Switch on the sky and the stars glow for you. Go see the world 'cause it's all so brand new. Don't close your eyes 'cause your future's ready to shine. It's just a matter of time before we learn how to fly. Welcome to the rhythm of the night. There's something in the air you can't deny.
Time for trivia. God, this has been happening a lot, and I love it. It's another first-time contestant. And this one comes bearing a Tausch story. I feel like I could do this show with other people where somebody says, I have a Tausch story, or whoever that other person is, a so-and-so story, and I'm a little nervous. Oh, he was a jerk to me. I met him at a local watering hole, and I saw him drinking something other than a Coors Light, or, something embarrassing.
He would never.
But not Tausch. I'm never worried about Tausch. So I'm sure that Joe in West Bend has a very positive story about our guy.
Is this up north, Joe?
Mark Tausch.
It
this
is not.
This is Joe in West Bend. So that's not up north. He's in West Bend. Hi, Joe. How are you?
Hi. I'm great. How are you guys?
Tell us your flattering story about Old T.
Old T was, I don't know what year it was, 2002. I was a caddy at Whistling Straits. and the boys all came in a little bus, and they all went into the clubhouse and got decked out, and they all come out, nice slacks on, nice shirts, hats, and Tausch comes out looking beautiful. Nice slacks, nice shirt, and he must have had his snow cap on when he was baling hay. It was the funniest, his hair flowing in the wind and some old snow cap. It was the best thing. I caddied for 20 years. That was one of my faves.
Kudos. I probably shot a pretty good score, too.
That was back when you were playing well?
Yeah, I didn't get the caddy for you, but Tausch, I've caddied for 20 years. Anytime you need a caddy, I'm your man.
Well, I need one to break 200.
Let me tell you something, Joe. Hold up, because, Joe, I'm going to be honest with you. I am very tough on caddies.
What?
Yeah,
I'm tough on caddies.
Tausch, I've caddied for plenty of you guys. Plenty in my 20 years at Aaron Hills, Whistling Straits, Vegas. Matter of fact, I talked to Chewy in Vegas one time.
What was that?
It was for all the Badgers were there. I caddied for Brian White.
Badger Desert Classic. I got to head back out there, or I get to head back out there in May to play.
Oh, nice.
Golf.
Maybe take Joe with you. You can be hard on Joe as a caddy.
And can Joe set up some
There you
radio
go.
equipment when you're doing the show also from out there?
Joe, before we
good
play
idea.
trivia, I do want to know, what are the top 3 things that make a really good caddy?
Ooh, great question.
Top 3?
Yeah, top 3.
Number 1 would be you better be able to read putts.
Yes.
Number 2.
Yes.
Which Tausch can't do, so he really needs you to do that.
Yeah. Number 2 is you really got to read putts. And number 3 is you really got to read putts.
It's the old real estate. It's real estate. Location. Yeah.
All right, let's play some trivia, Joe. It is not caddy trivia, though. It is Brewers trivia. Question number 1 is this. The first home Brewers series of the season features the crew playing host to the Kansas City Royals. Which team do the Brewers host for the second home series of the season? Is it the Cincinnati Reds, the Cleveland Guardians, or the Bad News Bears?
The first one, Cincinnati.
Indeed it is. Finally playing an NL team. All right, question 2.
Got a better chance against the Bad News Bears at this point. Huh?
Is that a too old?
Did I tell you that Cincinnati Reds logo is the same? The hat is literally the same thing as the Hiroshima Carps.
No.
Same exact
I know that.
logo. Yeah, it is.
But I caddied
Same
for George Brett at Black Wolf Run once. He was a nice guy.
Did George Brett, you ask him about the pine tar incident or not?
No, I didn't. He had pine tar in his putter, I think.
That's a pretty good line. By the way, the Hiroshima Toyo Carp do indeed, it appears, Seiya Suzuki, their slugging outfielder. It does appear that he has the Cincinnati C as his logo on his cap, as I did a little Googling.
Yeah.
All right. Question 2. Joe,
what is the name of the Brewers pitcher making his major league debut tonight against the Royals? Is it Grant Anderson, Connor Thomas, or Chad Patrick?
Second one.
Nope.
No. Sorry.
Chad Patrick.
The only reason I knew this is because I heard his name once, and I thought, this guy's got 2 first names. It is Chad Patrick. And you got to watch out for those guys.
I don't really know many of the Brewers anymore.
Neither do they.
All 3 of those names sound made up.
They do.
All right, question 3, Joe, is this.
Mark Gubiza. You remember Mark Gubiza?
I was more of a Brett Saberhagen guy, yes.
It's not Habersagen. No, it's
I know.
Gubiza's in a broadcast booth somewhere. I saw his name recently.
Gubiza did a good job. It's funny spelling of that name. That was always tricky to me. Gubiza.
Dan Quisenberry, R.I.P. All right, question 3 is this, Joe. 3 Brewers players have hit home runs so far this season. That sounds like one inning for the New York Yankees. Which of these is not one of the Brewers players who has crushed a dinger, Jesse's phraseology, in 2025?
I just really wanted you to say it.
All right, so one of these players has not hit a home run. Is that home runless player Bryce Terang, Rhys Hoskins, or Jake Bowers?
Bryce Terang.
No, batting clean. I believe this guy bats cleanup, but he doesn't have a home run yet.
Yeah,
right?
top of the order stinks.
Rhys Hoskins, the correct answer. Rhys Hoskins. Have you ever caddied for Rhys Hoskins?
No.
Any Brewers at all?
I don't think so. I caddied for Ryan Sandberg, though. At Aaron Hills.
Rhino.
We're doing it again. He was gone for 2 weeks.
Hey, so who is the best golfer that you've ever caddied for?
Ryan Sandberg.
Really?
Yeah, he was very good. Let me think. Ryan Sandberg. Who else is really good?
Mark Tauscher.
Mark Tauscher.
No, I'm a 16.
No,
I'm a legitimate 16 handy.
I honestly think it was Ryan Sandberg. It was very good.
Okay. Well,
Smoltzy was always good. Smoltzy always came down by you when the Braves came into town, didn't he?
Tony Romo.
Glavine.
Who was that? Who was the number one pick for the Jaguars on the offensive line? I can't think of his name. He was
Tony Baselli.
Tony Baselli.
I caddied for Baselli at Aaron Hills. He wasn't the best golfer, but he was the nicest man ever.
So,
Really
Joe, why don't we do a quick trivia? Joe, is there anybody else? I actually like Joe asking trivia questions. Who is the Royals left fielder back in 2012? It was out at Aaron Hills or Wisconsin. You get what I'm saying? I think it's kind of a fun little game that I'd like to add next time Joe calls and you do the questions. I'd also like to
you want
guys
Up North
that
Joe and Caddy Joe to both.
Dude, we need to have
questions.
an Up North Joe, Caddy Joe battle. That's a great idea.
I had a great time with George Lopez in Vegas. That's a story.
Oh,
is that golf?
I like George
just,
Lopez. I think he's funny.
That was back when he was a drinker, and he was a drinker.
Okay.
Oh boy.
I think we've. Nelly. I think we're done. Joe.
After 14, I had to ride in a cart because I couldn't. I told him I couldn't caddy anymore. We were sucking too much tequila. That's the truth.
Well, Joe, speaking of sucking, you only got one right.
I know. Stop it.
So
yeah, I walked right into that one.
You have 2 entries into Friday's drawing. Thanks for regaling us with your caddying stories, buddy. We appreciate
Joe,
your
before
loyalty.
Joe, before you go,
of course,
are you a Hoka wearing shoe guy?
No, never had them.
Okay. All right.
But Tausch, anytime you need a caddy, I don't care how hard. I've seen it all and done it all. So you ever need one,
I
look me
believe
up.
you have. I'll be there. We'll get down there. We'll look for Caddy Joe.
Caddy Joe with Tausch and George Lopez.
I'm not exactly sure which course he works at, though, just based on he was telling
I think he'll come to whatever
there.
course Tausch is playing. It sounds like to me.
No, I love. We'll get connected. That's where Jason will try to break 200.
Yeah. Well, I do believe there'll
with
be
Caddy
a little.
Joe.
We got a couple of ESPN Wisconsin golf outings coming up this summer. Bring them out to one and see what we can do.
There you go. All right, that was fun, but now it's done.
Caddy
it's time
Joe.
for Whoa Nelly. Before we get to that one, Caddy Joe sounds to me like a guy who's got great customers when he's caddying for them. Speaking of customer service, that's great. Of course, it all starts with Associated Bank. You go to the website, associatedbank.com. You can find out all the great perks that come with being an Associated Bank customer. You got early pay. What a convenient thing that is to have access to your direct deposit up to 2 days early. You've got credit monitoring and fraud protection. When I had an issue with fraud, they were on top of it. I didn't have anything to worry about. It was great. That's how good they are to make sure that I am not going to be in trouble because of somebody else doing something duplicitous. And, of course, they've got Packers checking, Badgers checking, and Brewers checking, so you can show your team favorite colors with your checking account. So go to AssociatedBank.com. to find out more. So Tausch is rough on both caddies and passengers on road trips, Geriot points out. And occasionally producers of the radio program and maybe co-hosts once in a while as well.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
We'll get to Woe Nelly next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Is it Waukesha or Waukesha? Brat or Brat? Is it ever okay to vacation in Minnesota? Wisconsinites can't agree on everything, but we can agree getting paid earlier is better. That's why UW Credit Union is making members' direct deposits available up to 2 days earlier. Early payday at UW Credit Union. Join today. Federally insured by NCUA. Visit uwcu.org for details.
Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side. When you see Diamond Jim, you can count on him to be on your side. Selection beyond compare with on-site repair, so you can wear your jewelry with pride. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
Metro Kia of Madison is Madison's trusted Kia dealership, and they are home to the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. If you're looking to purchase, finance, or service your vehicle, Metro Kia of Madison is the place to go. As always, at Metro Kia of Madison, you can enjoy 2 years of no-charge maintenance on any new vehicle. Browse their inventory and find this month's special at MetroKiaofMadison.com. That's MetroKiaofMadison.com. Find your new vehicle at your trusted Kia dealership today.
Hi, this is Brian Posick, and I can't wait for Mark Osiki's Casting for Kids Fishing Tournament coming up Saturday, May 17th on the Madison Chain of Lakes. It's a great time, great people, all for a great cause. There's lunch, dinner, raffles, and auctions, all to support the American Family Children's Hospital, UW Carbone Cancer Center. Plus a chance to win an Alumacraft fishing boat from Don's Marine. Join us on the water May 17th. Donate or partner with us. Learn more and register at castingforkids.org. That's casting4kids.org.
This update sponsored by UW Credit Union. For every stage of life, UW Credit Union is here for every you. Delta Dental is proud to sponsor Family Sundays at Helfair Field. Play catch on the field on Sundays from 10:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. prior to Brewers' regular season home games. Admission is free. Join UW Credit Union at uwcu.org, insured by NCUA.
Did you know that Wisconsin has a new, quick, and free online tax filing tool called IRS Direct File? Direct File is changing how people file their taxes and bringing more money into our state through the federal Earned Income Tax Credit and Child Tax Credit. File your federal and state taxes online directly with the IRS from your smartphone or computer. On average, file in less than 1 hour. Available in English and Spanish. Visit directfile.irs.gov to see if you're eligible. Sponsored by United Way of Wisconsin.
Talk Badger sports year-round with the Jump Around podcast.
Yeah, I mean, Coach was saying who wants to take it, and I think probably 20 of us were pointing right at him saying it's got to be you.
Tune in for the Top Badgers conversations every week, featuring special guests with Wisconsin players, coaches, and more.
She's got the confidence to say that she wants to. It's a pretty big moment, and we all trusted her.
The Jump Around, brought to you by Steinhoffels. Streaming live every Thursday on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel and available wherever you get your podcasts.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
When you've been seriously injured, you'll need a team with knowledge and experience to get the results you deserve. Call Gruber Law Offices today. Proud partner of your Milwaukee Bucks. One call, that's all.
We're on the Packers.
You still want to see that steady play, that steady improvement, and you didn't get it from Jordan Love?
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
That just makes the stakes that much higher this season.
Nobody covers the green and gold like 100.5 ESPN.
I remember the nights when we were young, dumb, and wild and free. When I closed my eyes, I could see you in my sweatshirt. dancing around that college bar these days. I don't know where you are, but I get to keep
That was fun trivia. Thank you for the entertainment show. Time now for something that won't be as fun. Won't Ellie?
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa, Nelly!
On Wilde and Tausch.
Seeing a story from the NFL meetings this morning, other people besides Matt LaFleur did meet with the media.
They did, yeah, it's true.
49ers owner Jed York said
Yorkster.
He was asked about all the players. They're calling it an exodus of San Francisco 49ers players leaving the San Francisco franchise, Santa Clara, to go play elsewhere. And he said one of the big reasons for that exodus is because the team intends to pay quarterback Brock Purdy coming up soon. Seems like he's tipping the pitch a little bit there by sharing that information. Also, I don't know if that's a no-brainer or not, but Tausch, I mean, there's a lot of things I could ask you. Does Brock Purdy deserve a payday? Is this smart business for the San Francisco 49ers, who have been successful for the last decade? What do you make of Jed York's comments from the NFL meetings?
I think they are kind of in a bind. Brock Purdy's a good player. How good is he without all of the guys that just walked out the door? And if McCaffrey's not healthy, where are they at wide receiver-wise with Ayuk being hurt? Kittle's getting older. If they're left tackle, he's getting older. I think you have to do it. If I'm a San Francisco, as a Packer fan, let me just put it to you this way. I'm good with this. I'm real good with this. The days of the Niners being the big, bad bullies, bye-bye.
Yeah, I think they're cooked for a while.
Now, they'll reboot, and Shanahan's a good coach. But the big, bad bullies, oh, my gosh, San Francisco, oh, boy.
They are going to commit to Brock Purdy, though. Tausch, you're a doubter on him. So Jed York can say about midway through, I think his quote, like Jesse mentioned, he said midway through the season they decided he was the guy. They were committing to him. And then all these things have fallen in place or exited.
Yeah,
since.
How'd they finish up this year? What was their record? 6-11?
They had a lot of injuries. Remember.
Life's not fair in the NFL.
I've heard that. The San Francisco 49ers did indeed finish 6-11. And like the Packers, they went 1-5 in their own division. Whoa, Nelly.
Whoa, Nelly!
I forgot what I was about to ask. Oh! I saw.
Good stuff.
No! This was off the sheets.
Caddy Joe! Where's Caddy Joe when we need him?
This is good.
This is your segment.
Yeah, and then I saw this was really interesting, and then I had a total brain lapse on what I wanted to ask you about. This is what I just saw, and I was looking this up while you were talking about our guy.
Tell us more about what you just saw, as opposed to silence on the radio.
Someone texted in saying the Brewers have given up more home runs than runs scored through 4 games. I thought, no. And then I looked up. They've allowed 17 home runs in the first 4 games of the season, and they've scored 15.
So it's true.
That's, like, awful.
Jesse.
Tausch.
4 games. It's 4 games. The fact that we're doing, like, bullpen days 3 days into the season, though, is very concerning.
2 guys making their first career Major League starts, and that wasn't the plan a week ago.
And that's with also throwing, who did we pitch the other day? That's Bowers?
Bowers was in twice. He could have been in yesterday. He needed a day off.
It ain't good. Listen, man, it ain't good. I'm not going to go all crazy palming, but it ain't good.
It's like all-time bad. It's not just not
That's
good.
bad news.
It's not like they're losing 3-2 and it's like tight game. Like they're getting pounded every game.
Yeah, it ain't good. I sent you a little text of what the Brewers need to do, though. I just sent you guys a text.
What are we supposed
to
do?
I don't think our pitching is going to get any better. We need to start torpedoing people. We need to start torpedoing people. Put it down to some shop classes down in the greater Wisconsin, in Milwaukee area. We're going to get those lathes running, and we're going to start getting some torpedoes out there for the boys.
MATC, get on those torpedoes.
And MSOE and Milwaukee Tech.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's all hands on deck.
Yeah, good Lord. You ain't kidding about that, because it doesn't seem like we're going to start shutting people down. Have to get Halfley over there.
We're going to need a dozen to win these games.
Whoa, Nelly!
Olivia Miles. Do you know who she is, Tausch?
No.
Dated Aaron Rodgers?
No, different. Olivia Miles is the number 2 prospect.
I'll say this. I started Sabrina Carpenter. I've started to know. I've gone to Japan for 2 weeks. I come back the same. I'm not going to tell you what radio station. But it's the Sabrina Carpenter, just nonstop blanket
Hits
show.
one.
And then there's a Pink Pony song that is on the same station. So all I hear is Sabrina Carpenter and Pink Pony. I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Sings,
and it
Pink
doesn't
Pony
stop.
Club. Yeah.
It was 2 weeks ago, and I literally, as we're coming back from Chicago, I'm saying, well, I haven't heard Sabrina in forever, and I heard Sabrina 52 times in that little hour and a half, 2 hour stretch. And in a Pink Pony Club. At a Pink Pony Club. I thought, it's good. The songs are good. Eleanor will love it. Those songs aren't appropriate for those kids. Pink.
Whoa, Nelly!
Can I put a plug in for Dad Rock on Sirius XM? It's a good station for you. I think you would enjoy it, as opposed to the Pink Pony Club. Jesse, what is Olivia?
I got to tell you this now. That I never was going to bring this up, but now that it's here, somebody tweeted at me the other day, and I don't know what I had said to warrant it, but they called me a pound puppy puke in a tweet. And I started singing Pound Puppy Puke to the song of Pink Pony Club, and it rolled pretty well, and I thought that was kind of fun.
Pound Puppy
Puke? I don't know what that means. Like, I don't know how to interpret it. It seems mean.
I mean, I know you rub people the wrong way from time to time, but that seems excessive.
It gave me a good nickname in my... Is it like an uncle-in-law or just an uncle? If it's Becca's uncle...
This has been among the worst Whoa Nellies
we've
ever had.
Olivia Miles was the number 2 prospect in the WNBA draft. She announced she is staying in college, but not returning to Notre Dame, who bowed out in the Sweet 16. She is entering the transfer portal, a virtually unheard of move for a player of her notoriety. Tausch, can you think of any reasons why she would do this?
Money. She's going to get more money from somebody else.
It's true.
What are you talking about? It's unprecedented.
So we watched
have you
her.
understood that college basketball has a lot of money in it now, Jesse?
She's a character now. She's got like the Kurt Rambis rec spec glasses. She's got pretty good handles. Good player for Notre Dame. But WNBA players do not get rich going to the WNBA. It is improved, but it's not. You can get more. You can potentially. What?
Caitlin Clark is super rich.
Right.
And,
but
Reese is making big time bucks.
Okay, that's 2. And Sabrina Ionescu is another one.
What's her face out in L.A.? She's making big time money.
Right, but all right, let me rephrase. Not all WNBA first round picks get rich. So this could be just it's true.
No, I'm not arguing with you.
Well, you wanted to know why Olivia Miles, who you don't know who she is.
No, I
is
said I know
why
she stayed. She's getting more money. I literally just said that.
So then doesn't it stand to reason that you don't get as rich in the WNBA if you're choosing to stay in college? The heck was that?
Was that Pink Pony Club?
No, he
By Brad Nortman.
ran out of music and forgot
I think
to
it's
put
time to call. I think
yeah.
it's time to call it a day with Whoa Nelly. This has been a disaster.
Our work here
I
is
regret
done.
to share ESPN Beaver Dam just went to commercial break anyway because I messed something up. So see ya. Sorry.
More Wilde and
Hell of an
Tausch.
episode
Straight in.
there. Good stuff there, Jesse. That's good stuff.
We need to bring back Joe the Caddy.
Where's Caddy Joe? Get Caddy Joe to run the segment next time.
Oh, whoa, Caddy. We'll wrap things up mercifully next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
You, rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute is brought to you by The Jump Around. Don't miss new episodes of this exclusive digital show talking all things Wisconsin sports, premiering every Thursday at 12:30, streaming live on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. Daniel Freitag, the second Badger to enter the transfer portal, the freshman guard announcing Monday. His words in a social media post, "My time at UW has been an enjoyable chapter in my life. To the Wisconsin fans, thank you for the support from the moment I arrived on campus. It has not gone unnoticed. There will be a spot in my heart and in my mind for my amazing teammates." Freitag, the program's top recruit in the 2024 class, also a consensus 4-star and third-ranked player out of Minnesota. Freitag and Cameron Hunter, the two departures for Wisconsin in the early cycle.
Everyone's talking about the draft, but you won't feel one from high-quality Pella windows. Get no-interest financing options or free glass upgrades today at PellaWI.com.
Football fans, Verizon is giving you the chance to win the ultimate draft experience with the Road to the Draft sweepstakes. 10 lucky winners will win tickets to the first day of the 2025 draft in Green Bay, including round-trip car service from Milwaukee, hotel accommodations, plus access to the Verizon viewing zone. Don't miss your chance to win the ultimate draft experience powered by Verizon. Hurry to select Wisconsin Verizon locations to enter by April 13th. No purchase necessary to enter. Must be legal U.S. resident of Wisconsin or Illinois, age 21 years or older to enter. Void where prohibited. For official rules and full details, visit www.espnwisconsincontest.com.
Zimbrick Honda has been a proud part of the Madison community since 1973, and they're your one-stop shop for over 250 new Hondas to choose from. Whether it's the sedan, SUV, or truck, their selection of new vehicles is second to none and has exactly what you're looking for. Stop in today at their location on Fish Hatchery Road and check out the all-new 2024 Honda Prologue, Honda's first all-electric SUV, or browse their selection online at ZimbrickHonda.com. That's ZimbrickHonda.com. Shop local. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
Greg Scalzo here for Buck and Honeys. Congratulations to the perennial Best of Madison Award winner by the folks at Madison Magazine. Meet me at Buck and Honeys to celebrate Wisconsin hospitality. Whether you're enjoying the view on the Yahara River in Monona, exploring Wanakee, visiting the OG in Sun Prairie, or checking out the new location in Mount Horeb, you can enjoy the Buck and Honeys experience in a neighborhood near you. Serving lunch and dinner 7 days a week with brunch every Saturday and Sunday. I'll see you at Buck and Honeys.
Madison's home of the Milwaukee Bucks.
Lillard lobs up top to Giannis. Whoa, what a play!
Wisconsin Badgers volleyball.
Underneath it, bump set, left side, powers it down. What a rally, and Wisconsin comes out on top.
And now, the Milwaukee Brewers.
Swinging a fly ball to left. It is back to the wall. Gone! Churio, a grand slam.
This is Madison's new home of the Milwaukee Brewers, 100.5 ESPN.
You're back at the gym. Your new gym outfit? On point. Your new sneakers? Baller. You've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with Access Checking. It's maintenance fee-free with no minimum balance requirements. So when you take your first yoga class in 10 months, your body might surprise you, but your checking account won't. You've got this with Access Checking from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
The Milwaukee Brewers, the Kansas City Royals.
Fly ball left field. Back. Still back. It is up and gone.
Tonight on Madison's new home of the Brewers, 100.5 ESPN.
Pink Pony Club.
Thank you, Chapel Roan. From the YouTube comments, Dr. Denver Dan pointing out that there is some speculation that Cooper Flagg might stay in school for another year or two for this exact reason.
No.
You're not buying that?
No, Cooper will be first pick, and he's gone.
I saw John Shire agrees with you. He said that's exactly what he should do. But I don't know. Maybe he's trying to Eli Manning it and avoid Washington.
If you're not going to be a top 20 pick, you're going to be able to make $3 or $4 million a year if you're a stud college basketball player. Period. So I don't know what and how and if that's going to change with this settlement. I don't know. I don't think what's happening is going to be sustainable, but that's where I thought Gardo and the boys were in a great spot.
Mm-hmm.
And if they don't get jobbed and get sent out to the Mile High City to play a road game, I think we'd be having a lot of discussions this week about the Badgers being in the Final Four. That's what I think.
Instead, as the BYU coach said, it's like Provo here. That was pretty clear cut that it was a home court advantage.
That's pretty equitable, pretty fair, huh? A 6 seed gets to host a home series? Yeah, it makes a lot of sense to me.
It all comes back to equitability.
In fairness, Purdue was a 4 playing in Indianapolis against Houston a 1, and Houston took care of business.
That's it for us today.
Just throwing it out there.
Thanks for coming along for the ride. Have a great day. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Commercial-free full show